What's up? What's up? What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Love Trap content with good company here. I got Booby Traps, Aries, Tamika's Den. I'm excited, y'all. We're talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Let me just start off by saying, like, that's one of my favorite movies, okay? You know, back in the day when it was coming on, you know, USA, TNT, TBS, when they playing movies all day. If I see Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I don't care what seat it's on, I'm watching the remainder of it, okay? So when I found out that they had a reimagining, of course I was on it. So I'm excited. Have you guys all seen the movie?
Oh yeah, that's top notch. That's one of my favorites right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel the same way as you. I remember going to see it in the theater.
Yeah, so
and
it was
all
2005.
the scandals surrounding it. Like,
Of course,
it was like,
yeah.
ooh, I really got to see this.
Yes.
Oh.
So you definitely know. I mean, it was a lot of sex appeal on the screen. I mean, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie. I mean, that's great casting right there. The chemistry.
I can't see how what happened didn't happen. You know what I mean? It had to.
Yes.
For real.
Facts. Okay, I have also
What
Detroit
up?
Kings in the building. What's up, Detroit?
What's good, family?
How you
What's
doing?
Detroit?
What's good? What's good?
How you doing? So, you know, we're talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Have you seen the movie Detroit? I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure you did. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we on the same page. So of course, Donald Glover, Maya Erskine, they are the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Great series, Amazon Prime. 8 episodes. I could have did a couple more, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy with the 8.
I'll take the 8.
I'll take the 8. I'll take the 8. But we're just going to go through episode by episode, and, you know, just kind of discussing some of the highlights. All right. So in the beginning of the series, right? Episode 1, you know, we're introduced to a little nice, cute little, you know, refresher, like beginning scene where we see these two people, you know, little lodge in the woods. They seem like they definitely off the grid. And the next thing we see, you know, is a whole shootout, assassination attempt. So I'm like, oh, this is a cute little opening scene. Did it draw you guys in, you know, into the situation? How did y'all feel about that opening scene? Aries, let me know how you felt.
Yeah, I was definitely feeling like, okay, well, I had such, like, I didn't know what to expect. So the first episode, I was like, okay, for sure, I'm going into this wanting to like it, just being a Donald Glover, like, super fan. And when they just came off with that action right out the gate, I was like, okay, I'm in.
You in? Okay. All right. Booby, what about you? How did you feel about that opening scene?
Oh yeah, it was fire. It was fire. It made me want to know who they was off top, because I'm like, okay, they starting off a little lovey dovey, all that stuff, and then when I saw the little team come in, like, oh, okay, it's popping off now, right now. I'm ready.
Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I want to address the chat. Thank you guys all for coming through. Please make sure you're liking the video. I see Torian already. He's doing his due diligence, okay? He said he went to each of our channels and left a like. That's what I'm talking about. Supporting, okay? Make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to all of our channels, and doing all the things, okay? Sorry, I was a little excited with this discussion, so I forgot some of the, you know, the church announcements. My bad, y'all. Detroit, how did you feel about that opening scene?
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I was confused for a minute, but I'm like, they ain't playing at all, man. I was confused. I'm like, who is these people? I said, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
And then she died for her man. She died too though. But she died. She wasn't playing no games.
I know. When I saw the combat boots and the dress, I was like, yes.
Yeah, right.
It was giving. No, I was about to say a comment. I ain't gonna say it, y'all. But
Whoa.
There's some parents out there that let their kids dress like that in real life, but I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh my no limit soldier.
Oh my God.
Tamika, if you're available, let me know how you felt about that beginning scene.
Yeah, I was here for it. I actually, you know, that was my man Eric from True Blood. I forget the actor's name, but I like him too. So I was about to get excited, like, oh wait, he in here. And then I turned my head for a minute. I wasn't expecting the action that fast. So I was like, well, damn, wait a minute, what happened? Like, we starting this off and popping.
Yes. When I heard them call each other John and Jane, I said, oh, yeah, it's time for the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was short-lived. They both got. And then we get introduced to this interview the new seemingly John and Jane. I mean, initially they have to insert their nail clippings. I said, oh, it's giving a little, voodoo situation, but all right, I'm gonna stick on.
Right.
But they get asked numerous questions about, their past relationship history, how much money they have in a bank account. Child, when Donald Glover said $366 and she said $14K, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're starting to see the differences here of the two people.
Bro, what you been doing for real? Like,
what you been doing?
Times was rough over there, you know what I'm saying? But they also, get asked, are they okay with separating from family and all that good stuff. So we realize that they both get paired together. They get introduced, or get acclimated in their new home, which is fire. Okay. Like, for all that to be in a brownstone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, man, they house was lit for real. What?
Indoor pool, movie theater.
Yes.
That's millions.
Definitely. Solar everything. Like, come on, what?
They had a garden. They had a. I think they had a garden on the top, on the roof, right? They got a garden on the roof.
Yep. Yeah.
They had a garage and everything. It's like, yo, wow.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They hooked them up.
But y'all Airbnb me, please. I can probably afford a couple
nights.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But of course, we have to get into the things. So they get a little package. They get their, welcome kit, if you will. They get the wedding rings. They get, the marriage certificate, the debit cards, IDs. And then we are introduced to Hi, okay, which is the boss.
Hi. Yeah.
That's the boss man.
Yes. So we, they get their first mission. I'm sorry, did somebody say something?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So we get the first mission where we have to obtain this package from this little old lady. So we go through, of course, them, trying to follow this lady, obtain the package. Long story short, it's pretty much a cake, but we realize 30 seconds later it's actually a bomb. Okay.
Yeah, they did that old lady dirty though, for real.
Man.
Yeah.
She felt that box, was like, whoa, hold up, what? Oh, they got me.
Yes, they had to go through a lot. They had to sit through her, eating lunch. She took us in a little play. Like, who goes to see a play for 20 minutes?
I like their little interaction though in between them in the park. You know what I mean? Because it was their first real mission. They were still getting to know each other, so they was asking each other questions and stuff like that. So I did like that little part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Booby, expound on like how do you felt they executed this particular mission? Like, did you feel, that there was going to be a brewing of some chemistry? Like, how did you feel? Like, what's your assessment of the overall, mission and their interaction with each other?
I like the interaction. Like I said, when they was in the park, they were still getting to know each other. This is really like their second day of knowing each other. So it was given, okay, they still filling each other out. They don't really trust each other yet. So they going off, okay, let me ask you a couple questions, and they start doing a little Q&A. But you can definitely see they different styles and their mentalities together, because once they left, well, she wanted to stay. And he was like, nah, let's get up out of here. And if he wouldn't have said that, that'd have been the end of the show.
Yeah.
She want a little drink. No, we don't have time for fraternize. Oh gosh. And then after the situation with the wedding cake and the house being blown up, now they got all this soot and everything on. So they got to figure out how to get back home. So of course, they had to pretty much work together. I love the fact when they went to the restaurant, she smeared some of his little blood on her face. He carried her and ushered her into the bathroom. So they had to really pretty much separate to get back home after the mission. So it was pretty much 2 missions in one. But Aries, like, how do you feel about, this whole, first mission?
I thought the first mission, the way that they was just playing off of, like Booby was saying, just kind of getting to know each other in between time. I could appreciate the way that they like just gradually progress, because like off top, I do not just be wanting to see the romance. And so it was nice to just see like, okay, they're just like normal people that's gonna eventually possibly fall in love. That's what I was thinking in this first episode. But yeah, I thought that they executed it like good for them just being strangers at this point.
Yeah,
As
I
good as
agree.
they could.
Yes. Detroit, what about you? How did you feel about this first mission?
The first mission was a failure, to be honest with you, but it was supposed to be a failure because they ain't got no chemistry. I actually think they held it down. I think they
Right.
held it down for a first time. They ain't got no chemistry. They don't even know each other. All they know is their last name is Smith. So you know what I mean? I think they held it down, man. The best they could, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Tamika, what about you? Have any thoughts about this first mission?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they did good overall. I agree with everybody. They don't know each other. I felt like, John, it was more wanting to know things and ask questions and inquisitive and a little bit more open and friendly than she is. She kind of was answering the stuff, but it was like she more so seemed like she was concentrating on what they had to do, whereas I guess he felt like he can multitask and we can find out about each other and see what's going on with the mission at the same time.
I agree. I think, and I'll save like some general questions for the end, but I feel like overall they did a great job with the balance of like action, dialogue, and comedy.
Mhm.
I love the fact when
Yes.
he took a pretty much a screenshot of her looking at the camera in the bedroom and try to do like a reverse Google search with all these random Asian women.
Yo, that was crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, this ain't gonna work. So
Yeah.
he started snooping, but she set a little
Like she
trap
didn't know
because
what he was
she had a
doing.
little
That was kind of crazy. He tried to do it on the low too.
yes.
Like, nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Would y'all do the same though? Like if y'all was in this situation, would you be like, you know what? I don't want to have a normal progression. I need to start doing my research on this person. Or would y'all like
For real. Because it seemed
Yeah,
like
of
you
course.
stuck. So I definitely would have been trying to get my Googles in.
Mhm.
You got to Google some person. He don't even know her.
exactly?
I got to see something.
Yeah, they don't even have any first names, like no real first names. They don't. It's
It
Right.
ain't. But he did that, and she ended up setting him up anyway. So with
yes.
with the whole Google search, like, you want to be on my laptop? All right, I'm gonna show you something.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
Booby, if that was you, if you knew somebody was going to be in your laptop, what kind of websites would you have up?
Oh, I'm gonna have all kinds of craziness up there. I'm gonna have some torture porn, some some animal
He was
stuff.
like, is this a
Bestiality? No.
Like, yo, oh, he in the bestiality, bro. What the heck? Yo,
Oh my
oh
God.
yeah.
Oh
We
man.
definitely going here.
Tamika, what you have? What would you put on your computer, girl? You're on mute.
I said I don't even know. I don't. I don't think I'm putting the bestiality and all that stuff, but
I
Aries,
ain't
you got
mad at that.
anything? Go
I ain't
ahead.
mad at that.
Yeah, I
I
have a
ain't mad.
bunch of tabs up, like
Oh.
how to poison somebody and get away with it. Like just
Yeah.
really try to scare them. Like, look, I watch Law and Order and ID, and I'm not to be played with.
Exactly.
Yo, Aries, wow, how to kill somebody in their sleep.
With a pistol.
yeah.
Detroit, what about you?
I probably would go with Booby said, man. I got to do some things, man. For real, man. Hey, Booby, I'm not mad at that, bro. I'm gonna do the same thing, bro.
Oh, what you thinking? I'm a whole weirdo for real.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
I can't wait. She did something in episode 2 I wasn't rocking with. She was
Okay, well,
wild.
let's jump into episode 2,
Mhm.
right? So
Oh
we're in
my
our
God.
second mission, and I love this because they have to dress up, get all cute and whatever. So they have to go into a silent auction, pretty much, locate a high bidder of a specific painting, and pretty much inject that person with truth serum, record what he says, and end of mission, right? Of course, I love the fact that they're showing that John has, he's quick on his feet. He noticed, oh, I'm gonna be sticking out like a sore thumb at this party, so I'm gonna go ahead, stuff my shoes up, and act like I'm part of the wait staff versus an actual guest. So, he pretty much ends up quarterbacking this whole particular mission. He was able to kind of guide John, and I do feel like for the first half of this relationship, John did a lot of the training per se. Even though Jane had her set of skills, shout out to Liam Neeson, I do feel like John had a lot of positives that kind of helped their particular journey, right? But they locate Eric, the high bidder, and they have to figure out how to get him alone, right? Because we got to get some truth serum in him. And the thing, of it all, we didn't realize Eric thought he was at the Hamptons or at a P. Diddy party because he was on that freaky deaky stuff.
He was wild.
Wow.
Allegedly.
Man.
So, of course, and I feel like John knew, like, oh, he's rich. So he's probably, don't want to do basic level things. Let's see what, interests him. So, him, Eric, John, and Jane go into a private room. And Eric, proceeds to ask John and Jane to do some dog work. I really don't know.
He tried to doggy style.
Yeah. They had the bark. They had the bark and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beyond what Prince Akeem was asking for. Let's just say
sniffing butts and all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's wow. Hey man, that's crazy.
Did y'all feel like this is going in a weird space? Like Detroit, how did you feel when this scene was occurring when they was over there looking each other in the mouth and what have you?
I think it was weird, but hey, they signed up for it. They got to do it, I guess. Yeah. It was weird, but they got to sign up. What's weird was when she was his bag. That's what's weird. You know what I mean? I don't know if you touched that when he was meditating. The old girl was in his bag looking at his stuff. I'm like, girl, why you in my stuff?
Yeah.
That was weird, man. But this definitely, I couldn't do this, man. I couldn't do that, man. Salute to them. I couldn't do it, though, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really think they had a choice, but it is.
Yeah, I know.
Right. That's true. That's true. Aries, did this throw you off, or was you was like, you know what? I'm here for the shenanigans?
I was like, I was feeling like, okay, so this is when they let Lakeith Stanfield direct the episode or something. Because it just seemed like, who is the writer on this episode? This just went crazy. But
yeah,
it just was giving me like, oh, now we're getting into the funny business. Like we've been seeing a lot of action and a lot of subtle comedy. Now we just getting stupid with it. Freaky deaky, like y'all said.
Yeah.
Tamika, how did you feel about this scene?
Yeah, it definitely was weird, but it's one of those things where they gotta do what they gotta do to complete the mission. They had me cracking up. I like this actor too. But I was like, really? He gonna have them doing all this? I'm like, is he about to join in with them? Like, how far are we gonna go with it? And
Detroit, your life on the line. You getting on all fours? I mean, sorry, not Detroit movie.
Oh.
My life on the line in this type of situation when I know what we gotta do. Yeah, why not? I mean, hey, I already know what I signed up for. Okay, with high and all that other stuff. So they already told us we can't fail. We can't fail the mission. At this point, they ain't failed the mission. So it's like, hey, if that's what I gotta do, and I mean, as long as I ain't doing nothing with him. You feel me? Because at that point it was just him and her on the floor. Then he started doing his little stuff. The dude, what's his name? John Turturro. He always funny and all the stuff he played. But yeah, I definitely would have got on all fours with her. But as soon as he got involved, it would have went left.
Yeah. Like the first butt he went to was, of course, John, and of course.
Yeah, we ain't got no choice but to do it. We signed up for it. We fail. I'm dead.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Make a choice.
Fact.
Make a choice.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So their
I'll do all
communication,
that,
of
man.
course, they're still new and getting to know each other. So their communication is a little off because once they realized that Aries' guard was down, they both look at each other and they both end up injecting him, which High mentioned we can't have any casualties and we cannot, pretty much inject more than one dosage. So of course, he's a little loopy and goes out and just spew all the business to everybody.
No, that was crazy.
Right.
It was a lot. But they end up taking him home and they effed up. So they had to, of course, they had to dismember him and put him in the compost. So of course, mission is failed, right?
Right.
They
He didn't
failed
want to
in
be
all that
eating the
stuff they
vegetables
did.
from that garden.
I would have been pissed. I would have felt that mission because all that stuff I did and I didn't get the dub.
Right. You went
No,
through all that, right?
He was
Detroit?
giving it up though. He was giving it up at that podium, telling all the business for everybody. Yeah.
He was on his Lulu tip.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
No, Aries, you did not say
He was on his Lulu.
Oh my God.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So, of course, first failed mission. And, they're both in the movie theater kind of talking, right? And earlier in the episode, they had a discussion about, relations. So, of course, John wants to know, like, are we expected to have relations? And James, like, no, I don't know about all that. But of course, in the midst of the dog play, they kind of start, they was like, oh, his breath tastes kind of good. Like, I may want to try that again. So she asked him, do you want to? So they ended up, having relations. But was it what's the word I'm looking for?
Regardless, anyway.
Was it unrealistic for them to really go out and about as a married couple, even though it's for work? Was it realistic for them to really feel like, okay, we can do this without having relations? Like, Booby, what you think?
Hell no, that wasn't realistic. They in the same crib together all that time. Y'all supposed to be married, right? Mm-hmm. So y'all supposed to live two completely different lives. It's gonna jump off one. It's definitely gonna jump. It's bound to.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't have two people in the same spot for that long. I mean, it wasn't that long for them, but yeah, they was fooling themselves.
We bonded. We done. We did a lot together. We done off somebody, deleted somebody. Exactly. We was on all fours together. Like,
how many bodies y'all done caught together? That's what. Yeah. Y'all married for real.
Do you think it was realistic for them to like carry on as a married assassination couple and not have relations? Was that possible?
You talking about me?
Oh, Tamika.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that one because if it ain't no chemistry and I ain't attracted to you, then I'm probably not gonna be tempted to do anything with you. But the more you spending time around somebody, and not only are y'all working and going on missions, y'all not doing a regular 9 to 5, and then y'all home with each other. I would think that it would eventually happen, even if y'all say, we gonna keep that off the table. It's gonna be one night that y'all gonna look on over at each other.
Even the cat even agree.
Yeah, it's looking at y'all like y'all crazy. What?
Yeah, it's like in cartoons where they have stuff like a cartoon character that's actually like really hungry, and they look at another character and they look like a piece of chicken or something. Like
yeah, like a whole turkey.
I'll be real hungry right now. Looking kind of good.
Start licking their lips. The thirst is real. Stop playing.
I mean, if you don't look too good, we may have to do doggy for real. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm saying. But how you gonna wipe? You gonna wear this person's blood on the first episode? You got their blood all over you, but you not sleep. Come on now.
That's facts, boo. That's facts, Aries.
I mean, you might as well.
How about you, Aries? Would you be strictly professional in this setting?
I think that, initially when they started out, I think that Jane was going to try to keep it professional. But John, like from the jump, was already like plotting and planning. Like, this man is really treating it like a real relationship. She was trying to keep it business. I think
he
if he would have kept it business, then they probably could have just been partners instead of like falling in love. But he was definitely pushing the issue, and she was like super resistant, and yeah, that's why they end up in that toxic relationship they in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was getting jealous of the conversation with the neighbor. We gonna get into that a little later, but
Yo.
yo, John,
He's
pump
like,
your
you don't
brakes,
look up
shorty.
to
Like,
me
what is
anymore.
I mean, hey, this somebody you gotta you. I mean, you're dependent on this person, man. You know what I mean? They got your life in their hands. So, like, man, I don't know.
Stabler and Benson been
John ain't did
together and
nothing
been
wrong,
partners for
man.
all that time. You know, they
John did.
barely in the 25th
But
season getting the
hey,
love connection.
Stabler and Benson wasn't forced to be in the house together.
Right, right. He forced to be. You think this? He got knees at the end. You think he really gonna sit there and don't want to do nothing with this woman? Man,
and
stop
on
it. I'd have been
and
right
on top of
there.
that, you not supposed to go out with nobody because y'all married. You gotta keep up everything, so you can't be out there actually, you know what I mean, clapping nobody else's cheeks. So it's like, okay, what else y'all
He's
gonna do?
right.
right.
man?
He can't go out there. He can't. He can't go out there and have no sex with another woman. That's an instantly L right there. So I thought he did handle it right. She was gonna give it up regardless anyway, man. She was gonna give it up. It was only a
They
matter
could
of
have did
time,
a
and she did.
business, like a business hookup. Like, you know what? We're just gonna do this to just.
And why was she in this man's stuff though? Why was she checking out this man's
He was
Detroit
mad
picked
bag?
about
up
that,
on that.
Detroit.
He like, why was she in this
I
stuff?
mean,
Yeah.
but I mean, when you do stuff like that, that kind of like, okay, we is in a relationship. You only gonna
I
let her.
mean,
I mean, come on
they
now,
both
ladies. If
in the defense, they both did it though, bro. They both did it. I
it,
Exactly.
that's
they
a
was
fact.
spies. They did what they supposed to do because that's their job.
Yeah,
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So that was pretty much, episode 2. Let's slide on over to episode 3, right? We're in Italy on a cute little ski mission. All right. And John
this is
is
my favorite
very
one right
much
here.
Yes.
he's very
Same.
much comfortable at this point. Like, he don't even want to work anymore. He want to go ahead outside, chill. He like F them people, low key. He's very
I'm sorry.
affectionate. Like, I don't know how much time spent. That's the one thing about this particular series. It was hard to gauge how much time progressed. I
Right.
was kind of using John's hair as an indicator because there was slight little differences in his hair, but it still wasn't really like it really didn't help me. So I wasn't sure. But they have a husband and wife, Goval and Parker Martin, and pretty much they have to record an important phone call at a specific time. So we learned that John is still keeping in contact with his mother. Now, Jane feels away. So I want y'all opinion on why do you think she feels away? Do you think it was, not being unrelatable because it seems though she don't have a relationship with her father and her mother is deceased? Do you think it was more because she thinks this is reckless and dangerous, or was it jealousy? Like, I want to know how y'all feel about her thoughts on him still keeping contact with his mom. Detroit, how do you feel about the mother situation at this point?
I think she this just for me thinking about it. I think she was jealous. She didn't have no type of family. I mean, she said her father, but let's be honest, she ain't really get along with her father. And I think she think it's dangerous too, and she controlling too. By the way,
Yeah,
that's what I think it is, in my opinion.
okay, all right. Aries, how do you feel about her thoughts with him still keeping in contact with his mother, even though they was kind of instructed to pretty much sever ties with anyone in their past or real lives?
I think it's like a little bit of all three because Jane is like, it seemed like she just really played by the rules, and even though she don't have nobody that she would probably be reaching out to, she probably still looking at him like, well, I ain't doing it. Like, why are you doing it? And because by now, like you said, we don't know the time span of anything, but by this point she is like catching feelings for John. So she probably like, what the hell you like talking to your mama for? Like, we in the Alps, wherever we at right now, we in the snow, and you up here talking about your mom? Like, what? So yeah, I think it was like a mixture of all three.
Okay. All right, Tamika, what about you? How do you feel about the mother situation?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all of the above. She just, even like I was saying when they was first interacting, he's the one that's making most of the conversation, asking most of the questions. She doesn't strike me as a people person. She don't strike me as somebody that like have a whole bunch of friends and family that she would deal with outside of this anyway. So that's probably why she's like, feeling like she would fit in so good with it, and she would expects him to be able to just cut his mom off to, go ahead and be into this life. But no, like he's obviously got a good relationship with his mother and mama boy, and he's more of a people person, more social than her to me. So, she's not gonna understand that aspect for him, and he's not gonna understand how she's just able to cut off from her dad and don't have anybody. That's kind of like the opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention, she attempted to join the CIA, but she seems like a bit of a sociopath.
Yes.
Wow.
So, that's an indicator as well. But Booby, how do you feel about the mother situation?
I mean, I think it was kind of a little bit of everything, but it was more so that number one, they failed their last mission. So she's really trying to be a stickler and doesn't want to fail the mission. She don't want to go against anything that's going to get her in trouble with High. And they told him from the gate, you have to sever all ties. So they tell you that for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it's not just you that you're jeopardizing. If you do that, you're jeopardizing your moms too. So me personally, I would have found a different way to communicate with her, but I definitely wouldn't have been calling her every day. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
With the situation.
I definitely think it's very reckless. Even though I would want to still keep in contact, I just can't chance it. I'm sorry.
You love your moms. You love your moms. Why would you jeopardize that? Nah.
Yeah, and they was talking several times a day. So
yes, yeah,
they was talking seemed like it was every day.
But he act like nothing changed at all. Come on,
right?
I mean, everybody's relationship is different with their parents. Even I don't talk to my mom several times a day. Like, what we doing here? Especially girls. That's fine. What's up, Moochie? So at this point, I do feel like I'm starting to definitely see, John. Is he giving the wink at this point? The fact that already he seems like 10 toes down in the relationship, but when it comes to the, the business, he seems like he's a little like, I'm all right on this, because he even gets to the point where they have an argument about the mother, and he turns off his location. And that ends up low-key, like, possibly endangering his life. So it seems like he just have these, just irrational tendencies that's not really healthy to a assassin or a spy, if you will.
He's being a little sensitive, for real.
Yes, a little Ralph Trans man. I agree.
Yeah,
but he got things
like how they sprinkled in a lot of like real life couple stuff. We see that, she passed a little gas.
That was so funny.
Woke him up out of sleep. That's crazy.
That was a lot, because we both two trained assassins, so we're already trained to go. But he's over there searching the premises. She opened up the window, like it must have been bad. I don't know what they had.
Hey, hold on, you skipping a couple of things, P. This the part when I ain't gonna get to it though, but me and Paperboy was talking about it when she was arguing about the sex. This the episode, right?
Yeah, he's talking about. He did want to just stay inside and clap cheeks for the whole weekend, but I'm saying she was tripping. She was tripping. I want you to do it a certain way. I'm like,
wow. Well, I'm gonna get to that. Right. Let me get to that.
Wow. Okay. Man.
No, I'm bringing that up later on, because there's another episode where they touched on that. That's why I didn't talk about it right now. I don't know if you ladies want to chime in. Is this fairly accurate when it comes to a new relationship and passing gas? Is it fairly spot on?
Man, the accuracy. I was like, oh wow. She said, I'm about to get up and go and take a walk. Like, I was
Wow.
like, what? What's going on?
Oh wow.
Man, it's so many techniques. Like, what? I mean, yeah, it's so many
Yeah.
efforts that are made to just like not have that happen. Like I done took Beano before just so that there will be no gas, and it made my stomach so
Yeah.
hard that
Wow.
I was like
Dang.
constipated.
Damn,
It's
bro.
like, why am I
Dang.
doing this, man? It's too much.
Yeah. And it seems like Booby in Detroit is kind of judging a little bit, but if y'all had a new
I know they
relationship,
are. I know they are.
I ain't
exactly,
judging. I'm not
because
judging. All I'm
Nah.
saying is that the fart woke him up. That's crazy.
no, I think she woke him up because she has gas and she was like, well, what's that? And then he kind of got up from there.
That she try to play it off, but don't
Right,
try
she
to play
Yeah.
it
tried too
off. I'm
hard to
saying
play
that's
it off.
She probably
no.
just
I
wanted
I
to
mean,
mean, you
lay
can
Lady
go
there
to
there,
the
that
today.
could have been
bathroom.
sewage.
They had a
Anything.
big bathroom in that room. I'm saying you could have went ahead and
it's
just let it
true.
go. You feel me?
Right. Go in there, run some hot water,
Yes.
spray some
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Febreze.
been saying what's that. I'd have been either going to the other bathroom, going out for a walk, something like nah.
Exactly.
We,
Yeah, I mean, he can go
I mean, I'm
outside
gonna
or
ask the
whatever,
ladies
man.
though. I got a question. What's the protocol though? What's the protocol for when
Okay.
you in a new relationship? When's the first time you actually fought in front of this nigga?
Yeah, honestly,
I
Right.
if
don't know.
only
That's when you know you getting real comfortable though. I know them beginning
Right.
parts. You don't want them to see certain things, hear certain things. You don't want to see certain things from them.
no.
When y'all
For
finally do, you
real.
be like, "Oh damn, when the hell this happened? This getting serious now."
Yeah. For me, I would never drop that. I don't know why. I would never like I would always have to go downstairs and use the downstairs bathroom and
Yeah.
do like a number two or something. Just like, no, you don't need to know this about me. Okay, this is
Yeah.
I
What?
not
These
respect
are
it. I
these are
respect it.
basic human functions. I'm farting. I'm not holding that shit in. I'm
Right. I don't
sorry.
understand that,
I'm
yeah,
man.
me
Yeah,
farting.
either.
guys don't look at it the same way, but
Nah, I'm
Exactly.
Yeah,
Side
saying
Yeah.
note, Detroit movie. If you had like a beautiful woman next to you and she just spewed out the depths of hell in her out her ass, you would have been like, you know what, I'm a little less attracted right now. Like y'all can't lie
Nah.
and
nah.
say
That's real to me. That's real to me.
Nah.
It don't matter if I'm rocking with you. I'm rocking with you. Don't sit up there and try to act like you're not a human being. We all got it. We all got it. Shit. We all got to. Come on, stop
yeah, but
playing now.
still, women, we're a little different. Like, I don't know if y'all remember Different World, but Whitley literally went into the bathroom, brushed her teeth, powder herself up, then went back to bed, act like they woke up together. Like, that's kind of how it was on for a very long time with my husband.
right.
Like, I'm
Hey.
funny when it comes to, even to this day, he'll try to go in the bath. Like, he'll literally sit in the bathroom with me while I'm over here trying to take care of business. And I'm like, dude, like, what we doing? Like, he
Right.
don't care. I don't understand.
I
They
want to
don't
know the
be caring.
real.
They don't be caring. But
I want the
man, for
real
us,
from the
What you
gate.
go?
I want to know from the gate what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm saying. I don't all that. A lot of dudes. That's what y'all females fail to realize. A lot of dudes they don't care about that. They want to know who you are for real. So all that faking for a couple months and holding in, make your stomach hurt. That's on you. We don't care about none of that. You feel me?
Right.
Just
Y'all
let
don't
it
want to
go.
sit there.
Let it go, boo boo. That's all I'm saying. Hey, do what you gotta do. You feel me?
that is
I ain't tripping
funny.
about
Let
that.
it go.
I'ma still rock with you regardless. You know what I mean? You got a burp or something, long as you ain't like nasty. You feel me?
Right.
But
But Booby,
if
you
that's what you
can't
gotta
really when
do,
it comes. I think gas is truly. I mean, I feel like you can't control it because it is basically what you eat.
You
But
don't push.
sometimes
Control the gas.
you could control like a belch or a burp. You can control a fart in the sense you can squeeze and clench the butt
You
cheeks together,
can.
but
No,
that
you
ain't gonna last
can't.
too
see, hey,
long.
I'm gonna mess with you. Because if I know you got a fart, I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna make you start laughing so you
That's what
can't
my
hold it in.
husband
Then you're gonna be
do.
laughing. Hey, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Like he'll start pressing up against my belly. He's like, "Come on, get it out." I'm like, "Bro, like I'm 10 years later. I'm still. I don't know. I'm still a little.
Dang, you should have
I told
control.
him I want some things to myself, and he doesn't understand.
Right.
Nah, there's nothing you can have for
That's
yourself,
funny.
especially depending on
Dang.
if this a person you want to rock with. You saying y'all in a relationship. I mean, a couple months down the line, that's too long for you to be holding in farce, boo boo. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't
Nah,
know.
let that just be natural.
I really try to figure out what year I felt comfortable.
Can I
I
ask a
still be
question?
feeling the way. Like I'd be like,
What
"Excuse me,
year?
my
Oh,
bad."
damn, you was doing it for a minute.
Damn.
Hey, yo, this is life.
Nigga,
What?
she tearing up
For
the.
real.
She going right in the bathroom, man. She holding it. Why y'all be
Yeah,
holding y'all stuff, man? Just go past gas or something.
that's
God
it.
damn.
I don't care if you in the shower and I gotta go. Hey, after the L word has been exchanged, I love you. Hey, that mean, hey, you in the shower, I gotta go. Hey, I'm a spray, I'm a light something, but hey, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
That's different though,
Oh,
because it's
you
like
need
the
more,
person that
huh?
you with. You just don't want to be like. I mean, and like we're just programmed to think that guys are like smelly and fart and
Nah,
burp and do all
Yeah.
that. So it's just like, oh
that's
God, I
basic human
cannot be
nature though.
human.
Everybody does it. Why would you deprive yourself of it?
Still, it's I guess it's a woman thing. It's hard to explain,
It's
but we
hard
try to
to
preserve.
Surprised.
explain.
There's a lot of women gonna let that thing go. Y'all ain't gonna let it go, but a lot of
You
women gonna
feel
let
I
that
mean,
me?
I
thing
do
go.
now, but I still feel away. Like, I'm sorry, babe. Like, I really be feeling
Right?
like I really be so apologetic.
Like,
Y'all better
whoa.
stop. Y'all hold that gas. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself holding that gas in. Y'all gonna hurt
Hey,
yourself. You better let that
exactly. You
thing
know
Right.
go.
how many physical problems health problems that can cause. You know how
Right.
to
Exactly.
Backed
just
up.
let that go.
Oh gosh. All right, y'all. Let's move on.
Man.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
that was
So
relatable.
John, of course, he always takes it too far. So he starts to follow the wife, and ends up really saving her life. But his life was almost going to end because he turned off his location, being petty. So Jane eventually saved him, and saved his life. And when the wife went back into the bedroom, the
Mm.
husband, of course, he got the important call, but he pretty much said no to the ransom. So of course there
You
was
know.
no
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Wow.
yeah, that was a little
Yes.
crazy. Like,
Hey,
well,
shout out to him for saying that. Like, shout out to
Yeah.
him. Like, I would have probably did the same thing. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
man. Hey, that's what
I
we
ain't gonna lie.
agreed to. That's what we agreed
Yeah,
to, baby.
yeah.
I'm sorry. That's what. If it was me, you would have did the same thing.
Shout
I'm
out to
saying.
John. Shout out to him, man. I'm sorry,
Nah, that's
man.
the end of that relationship.
Hey,
Right.
I'm
gotta just
saying,
I
but they
can't still be with you.
multi-billionaires.
I get it,
Wasn't
but
she
I
like a?
can't be with
She was like
you.
a foreign
And you was like,
dignitary.
yeah, nah, go ahead, do what you got to do to her. If I
Right.
Nah,
make
but
it
she
out of
like a
that and I
foreign
come back,
dignitary. It's different. It's different though,
yeah,
man.
sorry.
I don't know. I
You
would move
talking
away.
about? You was talking about taking money from like millions of people.
yeah,
That's different. That's
yeah.
you can't. That's one person, and she a foreign dignitary. She know what she done signed up for. So that's not even the same at all. Nah, this is the protocol. This what we agreed upon. So hey, I'm sorry, you got to go. You know what I mean? We gonna miss you.
Right. I'm
But
gonna I'm gonna
Lord.
set you up. I'm gonna get a good casket for you
Oh,
and
you
ship
feel
Lord.
it
me?
No,
to
he
you.
We
didn't
gonna
say
we
a
gonna
good
set up a
casket for you.
scholarship and all that. You feel me? Hey.
Uh-huh. I
Mhm.
gotta do what you
And
gotta
Amazon will
do.
get you that casket in 2 days. I'm just saying.
Oh, not
Mhm.
the
All right.
Amazon Prime.
Shout out to
I ain't gonna
Amazon.
hold you. I thought John was gonna he could have smashed his wife though, because she was ready.
That's
Yeah,
true.
she was.
Yeah, she was ready to get it done. She was
Nah, but
yeah,
definitely
she
ready to
did
get it
say
yeah.
done.
she said cheating was that was her line and she wasn't gonna cross it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, y'all. Well, let's move on to episode
well,
4.
hold up.
I'm sorry.
How y'all feel about? I want to ask y'all how y'all feel about this episode because the parallels about how their relationship, how the married couple's relationship versus John and James' relationship, how everything was mirroring and how it started
Yeah,
off. Everything started off good, and then you start seeing their relationship start looking just like the married couple's relationship throughout the
hmm
episode. So, how do y'all feel about that? I thought that was kind of fire.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it, and it was funny to me when he had the frostbite, and he was telling her he couldn't feel his his little.
Yeah.
He a genius for that. He wrote that too. Like, keep
Yeah,
Yeah.
going,
Right.
keep going.
that was funny. That was funny.
Real for the fellas out there, y'all would have did the same thing too. Keep it a buck.
Yeah. This was probably one of my favorite episodes. I just like the
Yeah, that
parallels
was
of
a
the
Uh-huh.
good
episode of the two
episode.
couple.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
great
then the
writing.
couple, the when she was cussing them out about the old people, the
Yes,
Hmm.
vacation couple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
that's what, like, John. Like, I'm gonna need you to tighten up a little bit. Even it was funny they had the debate when the wife, she was of course still working at the table in this scene right here, and she told him previously, "I won't work the whole day." So I love the fact that they kind of, use that. Like people can interpret that very different. And I did want to bring it up, but we spent too much time on the gas conversation. So I was trying to speak to that. But I did like the fact that, you can interpret things, the same words, the same dialogue, but your thought process may differ from another person. So I did like that as well.
Yeah. Tone matters.
Yes. Tone.
Yes.
But yeah, good parallels. I love that. Anything else about episode 3 before we move on, guys?
That was a classic episode, or episode 3, man.
I love it. And I want to point out, I love the different sceneries, they give us. We get the ski resort, we get Italy, we get Brooklyn, Manhattan. I love all of that, right?
It gave, very espionage.
Yes,
definitely.
I love a good heist, espionage. That's my favorite type of Ocean 12, 11, 13, Salt, Italian Job. I love all these type of movies. So this is definitely up my so let's get into episode 5. This was probably one of my favorite episodes.
This is my favorite. Yeah.
I'm sorry, episode 4. I'm sorry, you guys. Episode 4. I apologize.
Episode 5 was a classic.
These two.
Yes. Sorry,
episode 4 was that was fun.
Yes. So in the beginning, we get a message from Hi. Enjoy your day off. But lo and behold, we really still have the shenanigans on our day off. So John and Jane, they go to a farmer's market, seemingly, something they probably do on every day off. And then, of course, we coincidentally find another John. Yes. And I don't understand. I felt like, okay, I'm going to just have to say pro John and new John, just to really, separate the two, because there's 2 different John and Janes in this episode. So new John, I just feel like he was a little naive, just thinking, just so coincidentally, you're just going to find another John and y'all just hit it off that quick.
Right.
I felt the way about that, right? But when y'all were introduced, when we see the pro John and Jane, what was your initial thought? What would you think the purpose of this interaction? Detroit, let me know. What did you think when you saw the new John and Jane and we over here at dinner chopping it up?
My first thing was they about to set them up, man. They checking up on them, and they about to set them up. And that was my first answer. I said, I know what this is going to be about. And that's exactly what they did.
Right. Aries, how did you feel when we find out, there's another John that we can, be chummy with?
I was thinking, why are you trusting him? Is this the ops or not? I was so ready for the something to happen, the gotcha moment, because he was just extra too friendly. We better go and get some mangoes. They getting ready for dessert. They really ready for them to come over and hang out. I'm like, no, something gonna happen.
Yeah, I was annoyed. Tamika, how did you feel? Was you thinking John was being too naive in this situation? Well, both of them.
That's what I was about to say. It was really both of them, which I kind of expect this from what we see of John's personality. I would expect him to kind of be open to it. But the fact that they both seemed like they was excited, and it's like, oh wow, it's another John and Jane, and they do the same thing we do, and they just was welcoming and just all wrapped into it. I was like, what the heck is about to happen to them? Because it's something going to go wrong. It's no such thing as coincidences. Seriously, yeah.
Right.
Movie. I want to know, what were your thoughts when you saw John and Jane, into the chat? What happened? What was going on?
Man, is you stupid? For real? It's another John right there. It doesn't register to you that's another John. You know what I mean? I like the actor because from Better Call Saul, and Parker Posey is one of my favorite actresses. She's very underrated for real. But how is that not the first thing that comes to your mind? It's another John, and you just get happy. And side note, I love how how this Jane actually played him about the chick that he's like, she ain't got no other, her fingers or hands.
Right.
Yeah.
That part.
He didn't even know.
That was hilarious.
She played in the whole episode to the point where he had to start going back to Facebook pictures and all.
Yeah. I heard that was though. He kept looking.
That was crazy. Like, you been with this chick? How you know she ain't? How don't you know she got two hands?
I mean, that AI, you know, it's probably, you know, good technology these days.
He was like, she ain't got two hands. He kept looking at. I'm like, bro, this dude, wow.
Yo, but it also showed the Jane's jealousy though. Jane get jealous quick. You feel me?
But look how
That
he
did show
did
something.
her. Why he didn't say, "Oh my God, babe, this is a girl that I used to date. She is an amazing person. I can't wait for you to introduce. I gotta introduce you. Come here. I gotta meet. You gotta meet this girl." Like he just straight up gave Jane a reason to be jealous. Like she looking like, and who is this? Like, and then he was like, "Oh, this is my wife." Like, just introduced her. Like, "Oh, this little thing." Yeah. He played her to the left.
She was mad because she was bad. That's all that was.
Yeah, she was cute. And then with the neighbor, he was there, and she was over there being chummy with the neighbor.
Right.
Jane, I see what you're doing.
He was like,
but we sit down for dinner with the two Janes and Johns, and we learned some things. I did like this because we started, you know, seeing how, you know, new John and Jane was understanding how deep they are in, right? So we learned that you can have replacements. Okay, and they're both looking like you.
We know that.
that was crazy. We also learned that there's different levels. So there's super high risk, and low risk, right? So John, he seemed like, you know what, low risk. You know, I'm talking about the UPS and yeah, I can do that. But Jane was like, nah, bro, that's a little too boring for me. So now we're starting to see at this point where their little mindsets are, and then they tell the, you know, pro John and Jane, like, hey, you know, we have a little pact that, you know, we're going to make as much bread and money as we can. Then we're going to part ways. And they started laughing like, oh, what y'all think this is? You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
They played them.
It was so naive. It was so hilarious.
They started
laughing like, y'all ain't gonna never part ways.
I mean,
what's wrong with these people?
Part, okay.
Exactly. You win this, boy.
Unless you swap them out.
Okay, Ari, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, like, yeah, they would be stuck unless, because pro Jane, she was making it her business to put new Jane onto game. Like, look, the agency wants what's best for you. So if this John ain't working out, girl, you could get another one.
Hey, Derek, good thing you brought that up, because that's why she did what she did in episode 8.
Yep.
We ain't gonna get to that, but that case, she thought about that.
Oh, yeah, right. Cool. Yeah, when she was about to text hi back.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah. There were definitely a few things that the both Janes talked about that kind of came through into fruition, I feel like, and developed throughout the rest of the series. And then after dinner, you know, they still, you know, having dessert. And I do like the fact that we're still, you know, putting in little tidbits of, like, you know, artists. Like we talked about Sade, you know, we talk about the clips. Of course, we already know that's most likely dondaldglover, you know, his pen. And we talk about Eminem. So they're all chummy and whatnot, but they're like, oh, is that Eminem? We also learned that they had to kill other Smiths before, so they're looking like
that right there should have been red flag.
Yeah, a PG. That's that right. Episode 4 is, to me, just my opinion. It gave me everything I needed to know what was going to happen in episode 8. It came right up. It came right in form with episode 8.
Yes,
up to the sneezing.
Incredible writing.
To the sneezing part.
Yeah, definitely foreshadowing throughout, right? And so we get a little more information about super high risk. So they, you know, get called for a mission, and of course the new John and Jane gets invited. Of course, John was like, "Are you sure? I think we good. We want to go to bed." Jane was like, "Nah, we about to do this." So they lured them on a helicopter into the jungle. They had to pretty much fight their way out the jungle with a machete.
Yo, they played the hell out of it. Yeah.
I was mad for them.
Okay, fine. I'm like, what
Yeah, there's no way I would have went on that mission after everything y'all heard. I'm sorry, you wasn't that drunk, that messed up. I was with him. Let's go to bed. Like, why are we
Right.
here?
Then once
They
y'all on the helicopter and the door closed, they talking about, hey, all right, bye. See y'all later.
Right.
yeah,
Put your
Yo,
phone
what the
in the
hell?
thing.
they
What?
played the hell out of that,
Nah.
man.
Hold
Ooh, I
up.
would have been so mad.
That was so hilarious to me. And then,
Yeah, I would have been fat.
we peeped that, while they was fighting, they was sharing I love yous. I was like, oh, okay, is this, this is a perfect time. And then they get back. Of course, they successfully complete the mission. And of course, he FaceTimes and gets the
Mhm.
lowdown, but 375K payday. I don't know now.
Yeah. Hey,
That's a
I
lot of
wouldn't have been
money.
mad at that at all. I'm sorry, bro. I'm bloody face and all that. I'd be like, hey, we up, shawty. Hey.
For real.
John was like, his face said it all. He was like, bro, I just wanted to go to bed.
I need a shower bad. Like,
Man.
damn.
Gosh.
Hey.
But question for y'all. What do you think the main goal or purpose of the interaction of the two, John and James? Do you think it was more of an assessment to see where they're at, if they're going to cut it? Do you think it was possibly an interview for the next level? Do you think it was an evaluation? Like, how do y'all feel, the purpose of this meeting? Aries, can you let me know your thoughts on the purpose of what you interpret as the purpose?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, "Ooh, they up here. They just here to not train them, but like you said, analyze like where they at, if they ready for the next level. Like when they separated, when they was like, you Johns get us James a drink, and like the girls went off one way. It was like, okay, I think you're trying to like, I heard like in the episodes coming down the line where they hi reach out like, we think you ready for the next level. Like, do you want? And it was like, dang, I wonder if that's what the original John and Jane or older John and Jane was just like, just picking their brains, seeing what level of intelligence they was ready for.
Yeah. Tamika, what about you? What did you feel the purpose of their interaction was?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of felt like it was a mixture, a test to see, how they coming along, how they interacting, what they capable of doing, whether they would have went for this mission or turned it down. And like y'all said, a lot of what they was bringing up in this episode, we start to see those things unfolding, the choices y'all have, and whether y'all gonna stay together or whether you gonna feel like one is doing better than the other, one could move up where the other one might need to stay back, or getting a new John or a new Jane and all those different kind of options. So I feel like they was always testing them and always watching them. I don't to see if they're gonna go to the next level.
Yeah. Booby, what about you? What did you feel like the purpose of this interaction was?
I think it was just a filler. It was just to send them in to fill them out, see where they were mentally, if they were actually cohesive, if they was working as a unit. And haha, we already seen is on it 100%, 24/7. So I think haha sent them in just to do reconnaissance real quick to see exactly, just to gauge where they are.
Yeah. Detroit, what about you?
They was testing them out because you got to think about it. I don't know. I think it was episode 8, one of them episodes. They was already being watched anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They had cameras and stuff all in their house, so they knew what they was doing in the house. They just wanted to test them out. They had eyes all on them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else about episode 4 before we move on? No, good.
Nah, that was crazy. That whole scene with the bloody face what led up to that was just crazy. I had to go back and see that a couple of times. Like, wow.
It was fire. And then one other funny part where when they was on FaceTime in the helicopter, he was like, "Hey, did you know Eminem opened up a restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti? Full circle, isn't
it?" Yeah. He was not trying to hear that at all. He's like, "Yeah, all right, cool. That's what's up. Yeah, all right." Yeah.
Oh, y'all, this writing, I swear, I love it. But yeah, let's move on to episode 5. Sorry. So we're in Como, Italy. Now we have a mission to pretty much save Toby Hellinger. We have to get him to safety, right? So Toby is over there. He down on his luck. He's all coked up and drugged up. Okay, I don't know what Toby done did.
Look at that. He a legend. Oh boy, a legend too. By the way, a legend.
Yes, right. There's a legend. And this specifically, this is where I truly noticed some sort of time jump, right? Because I'm looking at John's hair. They seem very much, just in sync seemingly when it comes to this mission. Even just grabbing Toby up, it was real smooth. When they was in the car, they referenced, several other missions that they had throughout the country. So I don't know. It's given several months, but again, we're not sure how long they've been together. But they tried to get Toby to the safe house. And I could be petty, right? Because when they got to the safe house, Jane noticed a couple of, assassins in the house. I don't know. Is it me, or did I feel like that was the smartest move for the assassins to attack while they were in the car versus waiting while they were in the house? Like, how would y'all handle that? If y'all was an assassin and y'all trying to get somebody, would you wait until they're in the house or shoot at them while they're in the car? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deep.
Body them while they're in the car. That's definitely body them while they're in the car before they can get cover and all that. Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Okay.
Car for me.
So a car is probably the best decision. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was 50-50. I'm like, I don't know if I would handle this, but hey, I'm no assassin, so that's fine.
They're lucky they didn't have an RPG. It would have been a wrap.
They would have been dead.
They was definitely caught lacking. But I definitely love this sequence because we get car chases, motorcycles, we on foot, we running, we messing up people's weddings. Like I love this whole sequence of Italy. I'm not sure if it was truly Italy or not, but it seems as though that's where the setting is. And then we get a ride via boat to a new safe house. And it's actually John and Jane's house. He done bought a house, y'all. And I've heard, I've seen this debate before about how it is perceived when a man purchases a house and without his wife knowing. So I just want to quickly ask y'all, do y'all think it's romantic or do you think it's inconsiderate for a husband to purchase a house for a wife and she has no clue? Like Detroit, how do you feel about that? Romantic or inconsiderate?
Man, I don't think it's romantic. I don't know, man, because they really not married, technically. You know what I mean? I feel some type of way if they really, 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 really is married, but they really don't know each other still, and they're not married. So I don't really think. I think, to be honest with you, I think he should have told her, but hey, they not really like that anyway. So I knew he wasn't gonna say nothing to her because she probably would have said no.
Yeah, he knew she was gonna say no, probably.
Yeah, and that's why he did it. And I know I'm not trying to be funny, but they not really married.
Yeah, but is it? I mean, and this is another question: how are the finances though? Like, is
finances good?
Is it a joint account or is it separate accounts? We don't really know all that too, right?
I'm pretty sure them joints in the regular account. I mean, you said they did the time jump. Then it went to Mad Mission. I'm pretty sure now he got his money up. He got to be a multi-millionaire now.
Yeah, if they getting 300 plus for that one mission. Yeah, they definitely up. They up for real.
Yeah, they up. We don't know how much he paid for that house. I don't care if it was $12. What you doing, sir? Aries, was it romantic or inconsiderate buying a house without her knowing?
I'm with Detroit on this because it's like, I'm trying to understand I think like John did this with hopes of them being together. Like, so I think that his intention was romantic, but the fact that this is your coworker, sir, like she didn't care. That's why she was so quick to blow it up. She was just like, boy, I'm not moving in this house with you.
This is where it gets all convoluted, right? Because yes, this is just a job per se, but they really think, I mean, they live in that. It's so confusing. It's too much. Tamika, what do you think about this?
It was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. I was a little confused because I said maybe people can fill in the blanks for me because it was kind of like we don't know the exact timeline. I said, well, when did he even have the chance? When did he get to go off on his own and do a whole house hunting? How did you happen to come upon this house? In this case, it worked out for them because we needed somewhere else that we could go. But I was like, when the hell you talking about this our house? I bought it. Like when, sir? But yeah. I guess it depends on the situation. I wouldn't want you to just go buy a house, without me and be like, oh yeah, this is the house I bought.
Yeah. No. We don't know what type of spirits up in that house. We don't know.
And it still had everything from the previous owner in there. He bought it furnished, so
fully furnished.
Yes, that's how you do.
Shout out to ABTV. Booby, house situation.
Hey, I think it was a smart move. I'm saying. I mean, yeah, they not married for real, but he did it as a romantic gesture. Yeah. We already know he's out of his mind for real. He's not thinking straight. He's trying to be romantic. This is your coworker for real. It's not real, but in his mind, obviously, it's real. Yeah. So he's thinking of that way. I'm thinking of it was good because they got out of the spotlight for a minute, and it did take the strike team a minute for them to find him. Mm-hmm. So by the time they found him, it was off the books. So it wasn't something that was written down with the agency. It was something that he did on his own. So it was really safe until they actually found out where they was. So it did work out in the long run as far as him and her relationship and him buying a house for her. I mean, he's delusional at that point.
Yeah. It's crazy because they have delusion, right? But I'm trying to get in their mindset because yes, we know we can be replaced, but they know they can't get out of it at this point. So hey, we might as well just be a married couple for real because we gonna be together forever. That's what they're probably thinking. So especially
facts,
so they're
facts, PG. I definitely agree with you on that.
We might as well. And then we notice he does have a codependency issue. So he's pretty much like we stuck like glue, girl. Like what are you talking about? But like you said, Booby, the assassins do come. I did like the fact that they was over there scaling on the mountains. I love little stuff like that. And then she was thinking quick, so she went ahead and blew up the house. I feel like that was a multi-purpose
right. She made. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Exactly.
Right.
X.
We did get dialogue the previous night, and he pretty much vowed never to kill her. I thought that was romantic or whatever.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Yeah.
He was saying a lot.
Yeah, that was a damn lie.
We know that she ain't make that vow though.
Exactly. I caught that. I was like, oh, right. Geez. You don't want to, okay, whatever. But then we get Toby to safety, right? But beforehand, Toby wanted to confess his sins, because they've been asking, hey, Toby, what'd you do? Who are these people? He was like, I don't know. It could be Russians. Could be. I said, Toby, what you been doing? But would y'all want to know the ground information on y'all missions? Because I'm a little nosy. I'm not going to lie. And I would like to know who is after us to kind of, help the situation. So, Booby, would you want to know like the details of your mission, or do you want to just be completely blind?
Hell yeah, I want to know the details of my mission. I want to know who this dude is, what he did, so I can know exactly what research I need to do to see who's actually after this dude. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And Ron, side note, the co-stars in this thing, the cameos was ridiculous. Ron Perlman, another one of my favorite actors. That's low key one of the. Ever since Sons of Anarchy, even before that, but Sons of Anarchy definitely did it for me. But they cameos in this series was crazy. Yeah, for real, on the low. Definitely.
So they was stupid. They was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Tamika, would you want to know the background of your subjects?
Yes, I definitely want to know. And I said they did Toby dirty. Y'all could have let him have his cigarette. Y'all made him pee on himself. Y'all done pushed him off the damn building. I said, what the hell? I love this episode though. It gave me the action, the comedy. I was like, okay, yeah.
I love it.
I would have wanted to know though. Yes, tell me everything, Toby.
Yes, please. Aries, what about you?
I would have wanted to know too, but Toby was acting like he didn't even want to be saved. Like they had to force him to safety every time. So at that point when he wanted to finally lay it all out on the table, they was tired of Toby.
They
They're
was
like, bruh, just no.
You know how like somebody waits so long to tell you something, like I don't even want to know anymore. That's
right.
For real.
Detroit, what you want to know about your subject and what they did?
Hell yeah! I need to know what I'm getting myself into, and I want to know what my man like. Why are you kidnapping? You must be worth a lot of money. You did something, bro.
Yeah.
You pissed your pants about 2 times, man. This dude was wilding, bro.
Wow.
He was. John did the right thing. I'd have pushed his ass. We sitting there about to get killed, and you scared to jump. Man, you better get your old ass down there, man, and jump.
John was doing too much. He didn't want to run.
Keep it above PG. You'd have kicked his old ass down there, wouldn't you?
Yep.
I don't blame
roll him down them stairs.
Yep.
We have to do. Oh gosh, but yeah, that's one of my favorites. And after the mission, we're still in Italy, right? So Jane, she refuses to drink. So John was like, hold up now, we expecting a little baby. Because I was like, Jane, what's going on? She was feeling motion sickness. She kind of, utilized a pregnancy story to get on the boat. So I was thinking too, like, are we expecting? She was like, no, John, we're not having a baby. So he was disappointed. And I'm like, John, are you living in Delulu land? Like, how do you think that this was going to work with 2 assassins having a baby? And I'm sorry, Detroit Kings, but Detroit caught a stray because John was like, he said people, raise kids in, dangerous situations all the time. It's called Detroit. I said,
that was wild.
Hey, Donald Glover, man. Hey, Donald Glover, the city don't like you said that, bro.
I couldn't think of nobody but
They're gonna
you.
run you up out of there, man. He ain't can't nothing. He gonna have to apologize for that, my G.
I thought about y'all. I was like, oh man, y'all caught a whole stray.
He went for y'all on that one, bro.
he was wilding after that, man.
Oh,
Detroit Kings, did you laugh or did you feel away? Like,
I laughed because it was funny, but I felt the way, man. You talked about my city, man.
Yeah.
They gonna get at you, dog. Trick gonna run you up out of there, bro.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I ain't feel no type of way though, man. It's comedy at the end of the day, man.
Oh man.
That's true. Oh man, but that was pretty much all I had for episode 5. Was there any other details about this episode that y'all want to bring up before we move on?
I mean, for me, I liked how Jane took the position of like Ron Perlman was her almost like he was her pops or something, like that was her. And you know what I mean, and then John took the position of like that was his father-in-law or something, you know what I mean? Because she was protecting him and he wasn't. He was like, all right, nah, we need to get through with this mission. I'm tired of him, with the cigarette and all the other stuff. So it was, the dynamic was crazy.
Yes. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention an important part. It seems like at this point, Jane is the only one really communicating with Hi. Because older Jane, said, hey, I'm the one who does all the communication. So I think Jane kind of, took him into note. And then she get asked, like, hey, are you happy? I'm like, hold up, is this your
I was about to say that because I thought that was interesting. I'm like, wait a minute, where we going with this? Where they keep messaging her.
Yeah, so long story short, she was propositioned, and asked, like, hey, do you want to move up? Are you ready to replace your John? When y'all saw that, like, what was y'all thinking? Gary,
man.
She'll do it. I was like, man, Jane is so savage. She'll do it. She don't know. Like, the next partner she got could be like so just strictly business that she would miss John's corny butt. Like, she gonna miss the good times. I felt like, I'm like, man, your ass will do it.
Yeah,
because she was thinking.
Anybody else thought she would do it?
Yeah, I definitely felt like she would do it.
Oh, I
I
think
didn't
she would
think she
do
was
it.
going to do it. I didn't think she was going to do it for this. I mean, she was already connected to that dude, and being that she don't have a lot of friends, and I mean, he over there rearranging the cheeks. So it's I was giving okay. She not going to do it. She thinking about it, but she not going to do it for the simple fact that she already connected to this dude, and she don't really got nobody for real.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a lot of her facial expressions and her body language kind of gave me the thought that she was definitely strongly considering it.
Because she was at this point, they was feeling like they wasn't on the same page. They was kind of bumping heads. I mean, they've been bumping heads off and on. And then when he brought up the baby thing, I kind of felt like that was kind of pushing her, because it was like, why the hell would we be thinking about having a baby? I did agree with her when it came to that part. I'm like, John, what the hell are you talking about?
He's delusional. Right. I don't know what's up with that dude.
He seemed like he got into this job to do other things. Some people, they start a job and they want to do everything but the job. Like, what we doing?
For
he was low-key looking for a family. Because what John makes no sense. Oh boy. Okay, but that was episode 5. Like I said, probably in my top 2.
I mean, even though a baby would solidify their cover, but okay.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
That's true. But now you got to lug around a baby during a gunfight. Like, that's a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure they got enough bread. They're gonna have nannies and all that.
Yeah, but that could be liability. It's so complex when you get into that, because you gotta screen people.
Yeah.
You gotta do what they're doing with this therapist, because according to the therapist, they're software engineers.
This was another one of my favorites. This episode right here was crazy. The therapist was.
I love Sarah Paulson. Like y'all said, that the people they had popping up was definitely on point.
Oh yes. I definitely enjoy the cameos.
Oh yeah, Sarah was on she was on her ones and twos. I was like, yo, what is going on with this?
All these villages and different countries she was coming to. Like, girl, what we doing? But I love this. I'm gonna call it the therapy episode, because I love a good therapy session. Okay, I pro therapy. I've been through premarital counseling. I've been individual therapy. Like, I am a therapy, and I'm an advocate for it. I mean, my psychology degree and my student loan debt says so as well. But I definitely love that we were able to unpack a lot of things. We went through about 3 to 4 sessions of therapy in this episode. And through, them pretty much explaining their grievances with each other, they're using analogies regarding, software engineering. We got to talk about the malware and closing deals. Like, it was
they was pushing it for real. They was trying every way they could not to say what they really do.
Yeah, they were trying so hard. And so they use their missions, throughout the weeks to kind of, illustrate what's going on in their marriage and how they're, not on the same page. So we have the first mission, which I love, with him playing poker with old dudes. Like, you want to expound on that little poker mission?
Oh my God. Yo, she was super jealous about him. From his perspective, she was super jealous about him actually being with some black people, and that she couldn't deal with because she couldn't actually be in that position, and he had to go there. I love the interaction between him and the other dudes in the poker game. Yo, this was definitely. It was so many good episodes in this joint, but this part was definitely one of my favorites because it was real.
Mm-hmm.
It was real. It was something that would actually happen. This is conversation that dudes would actually happen at a poker game.
Yeah.
So it was like, yo, it was crazy, yo. I loved it. I loved it, yo.
Me too. And then they had another mission where, apparently John, his asthma kind of got in the way. I'm just going to say, as a member of the asthmatic African American community, I am offended that they utilize my ailments in this show.
You ain't by yourself though. I got asthma too now, but mine's only act up in the wintertime though, low key. But it is what it is, man. They kind of did us dirty, bro.
Yeah, they did us dirty, but I'm not gonna, harp on it. But I want to let you know, my
Especially
eye is
PG,
on you, Amazon.
especially PG, because PG be having an asthma pump.
Yeah,
She do. Facts. That's facts.
Can
it's
I
not a
get back
game.
to that poker game though? That poker game was legendary though.
It
She
was,
almost messed
bro.
up the mission and got that man killed, dog.
Yes. Why
They
you
had
pop
movies
off
playing in
early
the
because you was
background, like
jealous? That's crazy.
Yeah, they had the music
So jealous.
popping off.
it was fire. It was fire.
She don't know what it is being black, man. That's the problem
No,
with
You
her, man.
know, and he
yeah,
called that out. He definitely called that out in a session too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right, I like that because that was real. That was like very realistic for just interracial couples. Like, you can't be mad that I can really code switch and be so black around my black friends and family, but you feel left out because I like, not that you code switch if you interracially date, but you might tone it down for them. Like, and they will see you just really turn up when you around your people.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
based on the situation, and people can call it code switching, but like I said, it's based on the situation. You're not gonna be acting hood at the office, quote unquote hood, as you would say. You're
Right.
not gonna be, so it's based on the situation. And the thing is that and this is part of the problem, they are working together, they are living together, they're married, so they don't really get any separation time. You know what I'm saying? So she hasn't seen him in that element, and she's really believing that he's being fake. She's like, well, you don't really even laugh like that. Like, she really can't understand and comprehend. Like, no, this is me. This is just a part of me that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's real.
Right.
That's real talk. This is like, you know what I mean, Hispanic or even her people. If you get around people and you start talking in your language, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You start talking in your language. Okay, I can't really understand that. Oh, okay, but you feel comfortable doing that. So when I get around my people, I feel comfortable talking the way I want to talk. So I can't you understand that? That's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Tamika, so
She
we
was
get
mad
to
they
the
was
next
talking about
mission where
Maya.
I'm sorry, what, Candy?
That's
I
Darius. I mean,
mean,
not
or Aries.
They
Eric.
talking
I'm
about
like,
Maya,
what?
my baby. Hey,
I was saying
Maya.
she was mad
Whew.
they was talking about Maya. And
Oh
I love
yes,
when the
Yeah,
therapist was like, oh yeah, I
yeah,
remember Maya.
they started singing the song. Like, oh
yeah.
my god.
Right. So,
The therapist
and
was
she was
agreeing
so
with
out of the loop. She was
Yeah,
like,
like what happened to Maya? Like they over
her.
it's
Yo,
just the minor details that chef's kiss for
it'd
me.
be yes.
yo.
So Tamika, they have, another situation. They're talking about how Jane is controlling and won't let John take the lead. But of course, Jane's like, well, your asthma is preventing some things. So they on a whole chase. And he ends up having to go up 16, 17 flights of stairs. And she get upset. And I'm like, well, I mean, he did miss the elevator. But Tamika, how do you feel about, she's controlling? Well, him saying she's controlling. But this is a situation where he kind of was caught lacking a little bit. Like, do you think that she was valid in her feelings?
Yeah, I mean, they both gonna see it from their perspective. At the end of the day, she is more like the aggressive one and the one that kind of, according to her, does most of the missions, right? And I mean, I wouldn't have been able to run up them 17 flights. So I ain't mad at him. Shit, I probably wouldn't even been able to run up 5 without being out of breath. So
That's a lot of flight of stairs. I don't care how
That's
much
what
good
we
shape
saying.
you
for
in.
real, like by the time she get up there, she already done tossed the daggone guy. But it had me laughing because I wanted to see like how long they was gonna actually go to these therapy sessions and them having to, like you said, make it seem like they just talking about being analysts at a daggone desk. And she was even like, well, damn, I ain't never known that, an analyst job is so stressful and straining. And we knowing what they really do versus what they telling her they do. And then, she was even getting mad when the therapist was like, well, what he's saying is valid. Sitting there for a minute. How does that make you feel? Y'all got to kind of hear each other out. She didn't want to hear what the hell he's saying. She don't want to be told that she controlling.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I thought those parts was funny too. Just
yeah. Definitely good stuff. So the next mission, we in the woods, right, Aries? So this is debatable, right? Because we learned that John never read the book. Okay. And, of course, episode 1, John stated that, the prophet and the poet, I don't know the exact, title. Sorry. I believe it's called The Prophet.
Mm-hmm.
He, lied and said, implied that was his favorite book, but she realizes he never read the book, and he did admit, I was just lying. Like, you could tell he was early in his feelings, so he was low-key in competition in his brain with the neighbor, so he felt like he had to kind of buck up. But just me speaking, and just speaking as a woman, your mind does wonder when you find out an early lie. Like, okay, you always been lying? Is this the only lie? Like, am I tripping? Like,
Right.
your mind starts to travel and wonder. So was she overreacting when she found out he never read the book? Like, what do you feel about that?
I think that, okay, I don't think that she was overreacting. I definitely think she was valid, but I was still confused. Like, okay, girl, which way do you want it to be? Like, don't sweat it if this is just like some man that you working with. But this is when I start feeling sorry for John. Like, dang, like this woman does not support him. Like, I felt like Jane needed to just step up to the plate for her man at this point, because he was just really selling it in therapy with his all of the examples, and the fact that he didn't read the book. It was just like, yeah, you wonder, like, why would you lie about that? Like, if you lying about that, what else is you out here lying about? So I
Yeah,
felt her, but at the same time I wanted her to just like make up her mind. Do you want to be with this man or not?
that is facts. That is facts. And I didn't like the fact that she was kind of being demeaning. She was saying, well, you don't even read books. And not everybody read books, but that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily determine their intellect. You know what I'm saying? But she was being very judgmental. Um, do anybody else want to chime in about, if you guys felt she was
The
making a big deal or not?
I don't. This what I gotta say. Like, just because he lied about reading a book, don't mean he don't lie about it. He just lied because he didn't read the book. He don't care.
Yeah.
He didn't read the book. What's the problem? He didn't read the book. There's a lot of women and men that be lying about stuff they don't supposed to be lying about. Don't mean they liars.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's all
that
I'm saying. He
does.
just didn't.
That's lying. That
Yeah,
was a lie,
lying is
though.
lying though, but you lying to your partner. There's somebody. I get it. I get it on both sides, but at the same time, it's like you ain't have to lie. You ain't in competition with this dude next door. Okay, we
Right.
together, regardless if we want to be or not.
Yeah.
So it was really no reason for you to lie. You only lied because you was jealous of the neighbor. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, the book don't really matter because y'all still got to be together. It don't,
Exactly.
at
Hey,
the
that's what
same
I'm
time.
saying. It
So,
don't really matter, bro.
that's
Like, who
what I'm saying.
cares?
Yeah.
On both sides, I get it, but nigga, you didn't have to lie about it because you was jealous. You and your feelings, and you lied, and then told her something that she thought was real, but it really wasn't. So
Yeah.
that might have actually went along with her feelings on why she actually was sleeping with you and thought y'all was actually, what I mean, vibing and all that other stuff. I get it, but
Right, booby.
it's
Yeah,
kind of
that
it's
could have been
kind of
a
crazy.
turning point.
Yeah.
It's both on both sides. I get it, you know what I mean. But at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, the book really doesn't matter. It's really about how you felt about him, and then him lying on top of that, and how he felt about you in order to actually lie to get you to feel comfortable with him. So
Mhm.
it was kind of crazy on both ends.
Yeah, and she mentioned she felt that since that was supposedly their favorite book, that's why they were matched. But with her controlling, like, sociopathic ways, I feel like with her she has to justify and understand the meaning of everything. So I think that was a part of it too,
Hmm.
where she felt, oh, this is probably why we match and why we are sort of quote unquote compatible, is because we enjoy some of the same things. So I think just thinking like her, she probably think, well, if this is a lie, then our whole compatibility is a lie. When she's overthinking at this point, because y'all, established and been together long enough to know y'all still rocking with each other. Y'all have other things in common, but just her, she's a little
She wilding for that though,
Yeah,
because she wilding because their whole life is a lie. They ain't not married in
exactly,
real life.
yeah,
So
exactly.
what
That's
she
what I was
talking
saying.
exactly
about?
what
Thank
I
you,
was saying.
Detroit.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I was saying. Like, come on, man. He called her out on a whole bunch of other stuff about her dad and all that. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff was revealed on that
Yeah.
episode when they was talking.
It was
He
very,
was
very
going
deep.
off, huh?
He was going
Yeah.
off.
So,
Another thing I want to kind of quickly touch on. He said, you don't let me eat you out without you telling me how to do it.
yeah,
He's
here
like,
we
if you
go.
knew
Here
how to
we
do
go.
this, then I wouldn't have to tell you.
So is that controlling or is that assertive? Because sir, if we've been together 8, 9, 10 months and you still ain't got it, I'm just saying I may have to instruct you. I don't know. You can look at it a couple of different ways, but Booby, I'm gonna let you chime in about how do you feel about this situation? Was she wrong for?
I mean, me personally, hey, you can look at me how you want to, but hey, it is what it is. You like what you like. You want it a certain way. If she ain't slobbing me down the right way, I'm gonna let you know, shorty. I'm gonna let you. Hey, this what it is. I don't like it that way. You need to get you know what I mean. Tip by okay, cool, but I'm saying she was just telling him how she like it. If
Yeah.
like you said, if they've been together for months and he ain't figured it out by now, nigga, what is you doing?
Yeah, and maybe it's her tone because she is a little, she doesn't have the most, warmth in her. So maybe she was saying it a certain way. You just gotta
I
say,
don't give a
like,
damn,
I
bro.
can't
yeah,
imagine.
I'm trying to get mine, and you trying to get yours. I want to
Yeah,
get mine the right way. So, yeah,
right.
Right.
Hey man, look, man. What did Leah say? Rock the boat, rock the boat. She told you. Leah
hey,
was telling the man what to do. Hey man,
uh-huh.
sometimes you gotta sit there and kind of listen to your partner. But I feel what my man saying. You ain't gonna talk to me any type of way, now, girl.
yeah,
Yeah, I
She,
get that.
she in this whole series, in this whole like season, right? If you really wasn't paying attention to it, you would have thought she was the leader. She want to lead on everything.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tamika, you have
She
Yeah, I
do.
think
I
she
feel
wasn't
like
telling
that's
in
a
no
part
type
of
of
her.
tone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh
yeah.
no, you good, Tamika. You could go ahead.
No, I was gonna say she do like to lead. She brings that energy like she want to be in charge all the time. Like, yes, I agree. You like what you like. You tell the person what you like. You want to know what they like. But she gives me that she's like a drill sergeant that probably be like 1, 2, 3, left side,
Yes.
right side, up,
Damn.
down. Like,
Yo,
no.
wow,
That's my man in Strictly Business
that's
said,
crazy.
Tamika, left,
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 right, up,
left,
down,
right,
huh?
right. It's right.
Right.
For all my head, for all my people, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure everybody in here on this panel watch Strictly Business, right?
Yo, yeah, that was crazy. Tommy Davidson was killing it on that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Aries, you seen Strictly Business, right?
No, I
right.
think Jane
I can
definitely
tell
was
you ain't
strictly
seen
business.
it. Dang, Aries, you ain't seen Strictly Business?
That's a
What?
classic.
I'm pretty sure that I have, but it's definitely not just embedded in my brain. It ain't quotable for
And when
me. It ain't
remember when he had
quotable.
that crazy, I mean that old boy had that girl. She was a Sadiddy girl, the one he was supposed to marry. But then what I mean that she when they had sex, she was sitting there like right there, right there. That's what she was trying to
Oh
do with my
my
man right
god.
there.
Yeah.
That's what she was doing. You know what I mean? Some guys don't
Yeah,
like to
that was
be,
Jane.
but
I ain't seen it,
Uh,
but I know that was her. That was
uh,
her getting
yeah,
down.
yeah, that's
I
that's what
get
she
it.
was
Ain't
doing.
never a problem I ever had, but I definitely get it.
All right, and one last, well, a
Okay.
couple of things I want to. Sorry, go ahead. Who was talking? Oh, thought I was over talking to someone. Sorry. And the other thing I wanted to kind of mention, she kind of discussed how she's not his emergency contact, and she was a little frustrated about that. And that was a big thing. A couple months ago, I guess Nene Leakes, she was kind of who's from Housewives of Atlanta. She was kind of upset because she stated she doesn't have anyone for her emergency contact, meaning that she's alone or whatever. I saw it a couple of different ways, but in my head, to justify his mom being his emergency contact, hey, we work together and live together. If something happened to me, it's probably going to happen to you. So I need to have somebody else listed, even though, you know, we married, but I don't know. I don't know if anybody want to touch on that really quickly. If
Hey,
the
hold up.
emergency
Yeah, I
contact
didn't
is
see an
indicated.
issue with that. His
I
mom
don't
is
see
his
that way.
mom. He probably
Exactly.
already been accustomed, to putting her down and wanting to make sure that she's gonna be okay if anything happens to him. Jane, according to her, doesn't have anybody else, so it makes sense to me that she would put him down because you don't have anybody else. But if you did, you would probably have them. I used to put my husband down on everything. God bless the dead. When he passed, and I had to figure out who I'm gonna be putting down. Like, girl, what we talking about?
Exactly. It ain't my fault you ain't got nobody. You feel me?
Yeah.
We
Right.
co-workers, just like you said, we co-workers at the end of the day. This is not a real marriage, it's not a real relationship. So, you know what I mean? If something happened to me, God forbid, I want my family, my real blood relatives to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you not that. So
Exactly. But yeah, it was a lot of good dialogue in that conversation, at the woods. In the woods. And the therapist, she was like, y'all got some issues, but just know it's not life or death. No one has a gun to your head. No one's making you stay together. But little does she know, it's definitely that, ma'am. It's definitely life or death. But she was like, make sure y'all get that Venmo at the door.
Yo, she was religious about that Venmo.
Right.
That was hilarious. But we, at the end of the day, we had to blow up her house because she got recordings and we cannot have those released. So
yes,
that was kind of funny.
yeah,
That was funny.
She was crazy. As soon as they left, she was on. She was on that vape heavy though.
Hell yeah.
The house is literally on fire.
Still working.
Yo, what? Mommy's still working. I'm still trying to get my smoke on. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, she was over there getting real relaxed. Okay.
Yeah.
Great episode. I know we're trying to get
That motherfucker house blew up though.
real bad. He was walking real fast to the car. I'm like, girl.
Yeah. So
And
you got
they got all
what?
that information in there. They held for that. They did all that, and they was gonna kill that woman, man.
Damn right. You got recordings. You told you this ain't you ain't supposed to
Yeah.
be recording this. What you talking about? Oh, it's cameras
Yeah.
over there. It's cameras over there.
Yeah,
You can't see it, but there's cameras there too. Oh nah, we burning everything down, shorty. Nah, you
But
tripping.
they do ask you that before you sign up for sessions. If that is an option that they ask for training purposes. They do ask for you to be if you're okay with that. So they probably just didn't read the fine print, but
They couldn't have because they ain't know none of that was going on.
They were stupid. They stupid enough not to know that. They do that all the time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on to episode 7. So I'm trying to keep this at least under 2 hours if possible. It's so much good, content to talk about.
Well, episode 7 was like a filler though.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on a little bit. We get
some stuff there though.
We get introduced to Bev. Honestly, at the beginning, I was like, "What the hell going on?" We got Jane over here.
Yeah, I was confused as hell.
Asking this woman about her husband. I don't know what was going on. Ended up being a whole situation because apparently this seems like John's mission. He ended up prolonging this mission because he ended up having an emotional affair. Tried to get physical, but it just wasn't working out. And maybe he needed to drink some ginseng or something. I don't know. But it was kind of funny because she was holding
some Henny or something, bro. I don't know what he needs.
It was the funny part.
Gas station pill.
Yo, for real. Yeah.
A blue chew or something.
Blue pill, blue
John.
chew. There you go. I'm about to say that. Like, yo, dude, what you doing, bro?
But I did like the fact, Jane had her at gunpoint. She was like, "Hey, we're not bonding, okay? You literally have a gun to me." So I'm telling all you this because, yes, ma'am. So it seems like Hi has gotten involved because he told Jane to pretty much intervene in John's mission. Told John that Jane was going to be at Bev's house. So it looks like Hi is behind the scenes, doing his Geppetto. Ended up being a cluster, because they end up having a whole fight scene in Bev's house. John looks like he's about to lose his life because Bev ain't one to play with. So they end up chasing Bev throughout, I believe it was Brooklyn. I could be wrong. But pretty much John prolonged his mission. because he has a codependency issue and he had this emotional affair. He made so many mistakes, including revealing his true identity. But was John out of pocket for this emotional affair? Because we go back and forth about this being a real marriage and real partnership or not. So, and they also include in this an episode that they're allowed to have relations on mission. So it's too much going on here. Like, my brain hurt. I don't know what's right or wrong in this situation because Jane is hurt by this. So, Tamika, can you make some sense of how we should be feeling about
I don't know how much
affair?
sense I could make, because when it first started off, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then Jane, you was getting emotional, breaking down, crying, holding her head with the hammer. I'm like, what the hell?
She low-key messed up the mission.
Yeah, she was. They both was doing too much. Typically, John is doing too much. He definitely was doing too much. When she said, "Yeah, she knew what he did," I thought she was gonna be like, "And what?" When she said, "What is that?" I thought she was gonna say analyst. When she was like, "Special agent, secret agent," I said, "No, he didn't tell her what he knew for real and give her his whole life story about Jane." No wonder you couldn't get it up. You busy pouring your heart out about your problems. I'm like, what the hell? You this way, you that way. He said he don't like when you do this. And of course, the controlling comes back up again. And she was saying she dictate and tell him everything to do during sex. That was a hot ass mess, yo.
Yeah, that was crazy. Anybody else have like anything to touch on for this particular episode? I mean,
I really don't, though. Let's move it along. I really don't. I just felt like they both messed up the mission, but he had it under control. You know what I mean, low key. But she messed it up,
really
being
didn't,
emotional.
Though. He really didn't.
I mean, he really did, but he didn't though. But she messed it up though. She
messed it up, but it was already messed up because she was already she was from a rival agency, so she already knew a lot of the information that he was already telling her because she's from a rival agency. She's just like he was there to monitor her. She was monitoring him too. So there wasn't really a lot that she didn't know. But him not killing her off rip, that was a problem. You know what I mean? Because okay, you should have already done it, but she was already looking for it too at the same time. So they was both trying to play each other. I guess she was trying to get as much information out of him as he was trying to get out of her, but he wasn't really trying to get no info. He was just on some emotional stuff.
Yeah, he chilling, watching movies, eating ice cream pops. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
Yeah.
And they failed the mission.
And I definitely like the Easter egg for the bow tie, the mechanical bow tie, which is from another Brad Pitt movie, the Counselor. You know what I mean? So if anybody's seen The Counselor, y'all definitely need to check that out. It's fire.
Yeah.
But that's definitely that mechanical bow tie that she threw around his neck.
Yeah.
That was supposed to strangle him. That was from that movie, which is another Brad Pitt joint. But yeah, that was a nice little Easter egg right there.
That was crazy. Yeah, they mentioned they did give a time. I don't know if it's been several weeks or a couple months, but you could tell John definitely was p-footing around, and he should have been murdered. Like it was no excuse. So Jane, she had to intervene, and unfortunately, this is their third failed mission. Hi said, "Y'all need to wait for instructions."
That means somebody about to die tonight.
Yeah. For real.
Then John had the audacity to say, "I'm done." So he leaves, and Jane, of course, she throws her laptop. Of course, gets a new one. And the fact that they showed the delivery person, I was like, "Oh, this is they never showed the delivery person before, so this is business." And she gets told that she has to take out her Smith, and so we go into episode 8, and this is pretty much like the breakup episode. And she gets her breakfast, and little old Max caught her stray, literally.
Damn. So,
yeah, go ahead.
Y'all days is number Amazon. Y'all know y'all did not have to let damn Max get it like that. I said not the cat.
Slumped the cat like it was nothing.
You was like, oh no.
Yes, when the blood started leaking down and you see a little lifeless, but I said, y'all ain't have to do that. Damn, he was just about to get his food. Usually cats is quick. I said, you ain't moving.
He was home. He was
Right.
getting
They got him gone.
For real.
Oh gosh. So from my interpretation, my thought process, Jane is probably thinking John, killed off the little Max. Meanwhile, John is with his mom because he moved her to New York. And I looked at the credits and the actress has the same last name. So I'm assuming that's his real mother, the actress. So they go to her brownstone. I'm gonna say booby trapped. And John's like, oh, okay, it's time. So him and Jane meet up at a museum. She tried to off him, didn't work. They go throughout Manhattan, just really they was doing a lot. They was fighting in the park. He got hit by a car. Like, it was a lot. But they end up getting home. Jane, is met by John's mother. I'm like, lady, do you know what he do? Why are you here?
Damn.
The extra key, the emergency key. He didn't tell you about that either, I guess.
He told you to stay. Like, if it's not safe for you to go at your house, mama, why do you think it's safe to come to mine? But okay. They get some nuggets. We learn his real name is Michael. Real little chummy situation. John goes to the neighbor's house, but he's a trip in itself. Like, the neighbor is hilarious. But John peeps the whole surveillance situation because the neighbor is obsessed with his house. Like, we peeped from episode 1. All he cared about was that house. And it was funny because John didn't even understand he was a real estate agent. He's like, what company are you working for? John, you don't have cable? You don't know what HGTV is?
For real.
But they end up having a gunfight.
Side note, this is not important, but did we ever see his dog? Because I never remember seeing the dog, but we kept hearing about the dog.
I thought we did.
We seen it when John needed to go through the house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Poet, I believe that was.
Yeah, John even go in the house anyway. He gonna let the man go in the house, knowing that he got all them cameras and stuff looking at him. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. But John
ends
up being in the house. They have a whole gunfight, and I love this because it's a nod to the movie. How do y'all feel about the execution of this gunfight? Because it's obvious they didn't really truly want to kill each other. They were just effing stuff up. And then of course, when there was no more guns, they started throwing ish at each other. It was a whole hot mess. But how do y'all feel about the execution of the fight? Well, the gunfight in the house. Booby, go ahead. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I loved it. I love how, like you said, it was an ode to the actual movie. Them even being in the museum with her setting him up in the little turnstile. That was fire because it goes right back to the movie in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And then them being, they wasn't trying to kill each other. You could see they wasn't trying to kill each other because they had feelings for each other, but they had to go through the motions, and they had some near misses, definitely. But it was a fire scene. I love the scene.
I loved it. Detroit, how do you feel about that scene?
Classic.
They had, like Booby said, man, they ain't want to kill each other. They loved each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But. And like, come on now, you live with somebody so many months, you know what I mean? You catch somebody feelings for that person, you're not gonna want to kill that person. She didn't want to kill him because truth be told, if I'm just being honest, if one of them wanted to die, they was gonna end up killing each other. They had every opportunity to kill her. He did anyway, and she did the same.
Yeah. I love the part when he was like, honey, where are you?
Yeah.
I like the part when he went to his mom, when his mama was when he finally with his mama, and she was like, "Come on, sit down," and she just sitting there looking.
Yeah. Aries, how do you feel about the execution of that gunfight?
It was so romantic. This was one of the first romantic points in this movie for this couple because they was taking all of their frustration out on each other in I love you, I'm about to nearly miss you just because I need to let you know. I was this is romantic for them. They expressing they love. This they love language basically.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. It was definitely therapeutic. Tamika, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I say, listen, y'all breaking up everything in the house, messing up good stuff. And I was like saying, Mama could have been a secret agent too, because the fact she done popped up in here, said what she had to say and was gone. Because I thought she still was gonna be in here when he was coming around in the house.
too.
And I'm like, okay, well, no, she ain't here. We just get into it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I'm like, Mama, where you at, girl?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but of course they get to the point where they're tired, and John caught Jane lacking, so he inject her with truth serum. He does the same to him, so they can get all their little feelings out, and he reveals he didn't off Max, and they just started getting, they was like they was feeling a little freaky deaky on the inside, like Eric in episodes. But before we get it really popping, hello, anybody home? I'm like, oh hell no.
Yeah, because I thought they was about to get it in. I'm like, well, who the hell is this now? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who is this? Right.
So yes, it was a little annoying. And I have to say, okay, they on truth serum, they not in their right mind. Because we hide it and getting blickies. Like, we don't need to be, just all cordial, like, we borrowed some brown sugar. Like, no, we know what you're here for.
Yeah. You hear the murkers. They still got to tell the truth on top of that. That's crazy.
Exactly. They're like, well, there's a gun over here, a gun over here. I'm like, no.
Telling them the whole blueprint. Shut. Oh my.
I was so upset. But the sneeze situation came in handy because in the midst of, old John sneezing, and I love the fact because they show how on point and their communication skills are in sync now, because they already knew what to do. Jane, went ahead and got his eye. So John, he missing a little eye situation. New John, he over there in the elevator, called Jane. Jay get in the elevator. They in the escape room. And I'm like, okay, we gotta figure this out now.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are there no supplies in the panic room?
None.
I thought it was supposed to have blinky snacks.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
What? I was so confused, guys. Like, why are there no extra guns in the panic room? When I panic, I need chargers, flashlights, Reese cups. Like, I need
Yeah.
guns.
Wow.
Like, what we doing? Right.
Little personal Patron bottles.
Hey, you feel me? You're right.
They really wanted to panic. It was no reason for that. I did not understand, but I was a little nervous, right? Because we saw when the old John and Jane, was in the house. Old Jane, she knew where the panic room was, so I thought she had the combination or the code. I was a little nervous, right? So of course we find out, new John, he got caught in the abdomen, so it don't look too good, right? So I'm a little nervous, and of course I'm like, he got on all white. God damn it!
No.
So they locked themselves up in the panic room. Of course, old Jane comes. She's trying to get in the cold. So I love the dialogue between John and Jane while they're in the panic room. They're discussing and bargaining about kids and everything. I was like, oh no, we need a plan B. Like, what are we doing?
This ain't it.
Y'all talking like it's over already.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it was a lot, right? They even revealed her name as Alana. I'm like, we got a real name basis up in here. Like, it's about to be done. So we realized John don't have any bullets. Jane has one bullet left. New Jane. I'm sure, old Jane got more than that, right? So she's like, all right, John, do you have a plan? So he was even surprised. He was like, you want to know my plan? And so he was like, well, the lights about to shut off. She's going to go turn on the lights, and that's going to work in our benefit. But she sees that he's really bleeding out. So she's like, we ain't got time. So she decides, like, hey, John, I'm going to open the door and I'm going to get her. The next thing we see, it was giving me Power moment when Tariq was over there messing with Ray Ray. Y'all got me outside and see shots, and I don't know what's going on. Man. Okay, now we need to know Are they setting up for a season 2? Like, y'all need to let me know y'all thoughts on these 3 shots. Booby, I'm gonna let you go first. If you there.
You're not there.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Oh my God.
What's
It
wrong?
was cuz man, this ending just had me. Oh man, had me gone because she had one shot. We saw at least 3 shots go off. Okay. So we don't know what the hell happened until next season. I hate it. I hate cliffhangers like this because we don't know what's going to happen if we're going to get the same Smiths next season. If there's going to be another season, if we're going to get the same Smiths next season, or is it like the beginning of this season where they killed 2 Smiths and they went all out, and then this same thing happened at the end of this season, and we get 2 new Smiths next season. Oh, it's I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, I was over here really trying to figure out the different because I noticed 2 shots, a pause, and a third shot. So I'm over here trying to figure out everything. Like, Tamika, what is going on in your brain? Like, what do you think happened?
Yeah, this had me stressed out. I was like, wait a minute, that's the end. That's how it ends. I said, nah, man. I was rewinding it back because, like you said, I didn't know if New Jane had the combination was gonna be able to come in. Like when she was kept doing the countdown and saying, I'm gonna open it, I'm gonna take her out, okay, because we gotta get out of here. I'm like, girl, you talking mad loud, let her know what you about to do. And then I'm thinking she gonna come in, or I'm like, when she opened the door, it's just gonna be them going at each other. And then we fade and go outside and just see the flashes. I was like, really? Like, I hope this is getting a season 2. I need it like yesterday. I want to know what the hell happened.
I agree.
I need to know.
What do you feel about this?
Yes, I'm with everybody. I was so frustrated and feeling like, man, they better not let this series go off like this, which they very well could. There's so many ways that it can go. But yeah, I was trying to hear like, okay, so what it sound like? We got New Jane gun popping off, and then was that like 2 rounds from one gun, or was that like John's? Like, I don't know. I was trying to figure it out too, but they left us on such a cliffhanger. I'll be happy if they came back with another couple, but like how John ain't gonna be in it. Like Donald Glover gotta be in
thing. It was looking real grim, like he was getting to the point where he was about to pass out. So I'm like, okay, we made it out. We still got to get him to the hospital. The next morning, the realtor / neighbor came over, and of course, nobody's there, seemingly, because he's trying to return the book.
Yeah, that ticked me off even more. He peeking his head off. Well, I'm just gonna leave it here. I said, no, go walk around and see who the hell is.
Be nosy, do what y'all do, right? Be nosy.
They wilding for that, man.
I was like, this is some New Yorkers for you right here. This is another day in New York. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna leave this book here for y'all.
Yeah, I was on the scoop because I'm not going to your house. I done heard them shots yesterday. No.
Right, because I was like, I know he had to hear all that noise, but if you're gonna be that nosy and peeking your head in, then you might as well just go ahead and walk through.
Exactly. Go all in. Yeah. Go all in. Detroit, what do you think happened, or what the outcome of those 3 shots were?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I wanted more. To be honest, I'm like, dang, that's it. I'm like, is he dead? You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, okay, they ended like this, so I mean, is it gonna be a season 2?
Yeah.
There was a number 1 show on Prime, so I mean, was good.
Yeah, I did read an article. It was a credible article. They did mention, I forgot, and I'm sorry, the producer or director did, apparently say that they were looking into a season 2. But of course, we don't know. You know how Donald Glover, he like to play in our face too. So we may not know what's going on. Because I honestly had to go back to the first episode, the first scene, because I was like, okay, was that John and Jane who off the other? Because I was thinking maybe it would tie it all in, but it was a Caucasian man, so it wasn't that. Yeah. So I was really trying to figure it out, guys, because I was getting aggravated.
Man, is this gonna be they ended it how they started it, or are they coming back, or it's, man, oh my God, it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking.
So
Yeah.
that man got a deal with Amazon. You know what I mean? Prime. So he might be creating another show. You never know with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
Right.
just had a couple of additional questions real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be this long, but it was hard. It's so much good content to talk about. So it is what it is. Question: do y'all think they were truly compatible partners? Of course, they were thrown together and put together, in this seemingly unusual circumstance. But I just want to know, Booby, do you think they were compatible partners, either professionally or romantically? Real quick.
I do. I do. For the simple fact that you always have in the dynamic of a relationship, you have the strong point, and then you have, I ain't gonna say necessarily the weak point or the soft point, the rational person, and then the person that's actually gonna be thinking about other stuff as far as like the fun loving or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that in that dynamic, yeah, they were compatible. Because she was the brains of the operation. She's gonna think about what's supposed to happen, what needs to happen, and he was the fun loving one. So he wants to have fun. He doesn't think about it as in depth as she does. So I definitely think it was compatible.
Yeah, I think of it like she was more of the brain and he was like the heart of the.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tamika, how do you feel about their compatibility?
Yeah, I think once they got into the groove and learned each other, they was compatible. They kind of balanced each other out,
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying they do a lot of arranged marriages in other locations.
Right.
yeah.
They was
Right.
Aries, how do you feel about their compatibility?
Yes, I agree with everybody else that they just perfectly balanced each other out. But one more thing that I forgot to mention about episode 7 is that I thought it was so funny when he's at Bev's house and he paused the show that they was watching. It was like an Asian person's face, and that made him think of "Where's my wife?" Like I just fell out laughing. He was like, "Wait a minute,
Yeah.
where's my wife?"
Just out of the blue, like he
But
just
yeah.
knew she was there. Where is she?
Yeah.
It was just so many little sprinkling of just like humor that I'm just like, oh my God, this is so funny.
I
Hey,
agree.
Donald Glover had his fingerprints all over this whole season. I would definitely give it was giving me Atlanta vibes throughout the whole season. I definitely gotta put that in there.
Yeah.
For real.
I agree. Detroit, do you believe that they were compatible?
As the good man Diamond would say, business wise, yes, they was. But as far as like a relationship, no.
I'm done with you.
Yes, you know what I mean? Going on missions, yes, but them being in a relationship, no.
Okay. I do think they were compatible in both aspects. It's one of those things is the growing pains that they went through. They were thrusted in this situation, head first. I don't know if I should say pause or not, but yeah, they definitely was, compatible, I feel. I was gonna get into a little about the casting, but casting is A1. I feel like some people did have grievances and felt like there should have been an African American Jane, but I honestly didn't have an issue. She's still another woman of color. So I think the casting was fine for me, especially the cameos that we discussed. So I think they did a great job with the casting. I don't know if anybody disagrees.
It was giving Rush Hour to me. I was like, give me that Asian and black combo. I was here for it.
Yeah,
I like that.
it was all right. I liked it. I wasn't tripping off of that at all.
When I initially saw the poster, I was kind of like, really? I was surprised that we was even doing Mr. and Mrs. Smith TV show. I'm kind of funny with the making the movie into TV show and vice versa, but because it had Donald Glover, it piqued my interest on that part. And I was like, sometimes some of them do good. So I was like, I'm going to still give it a chance regardless because I'm just a fan. So they didn't disappoint. I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I agree. Like
they got it right. They got it right. He's a black man. They got that, and she's Asian. She's white skinned. She can act. So they got what they want. They got it right.
Yeah,
it's something different. It's something different though. You don't want it looking like the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that was another thing that I liked about it, because even though, it's bouncing off of that, they could have literally named it something else and still had the same story and it would have still worked. They made it their own.
That's
So
true.
it was, yeah.
That's true. And speaking of that, piggyback on that, Tamika, do you feel that they superseded or gave the movie justice? Because I mean, like, as an A1 movie, I did feel like they, because sometimes people drop balls when they try to reenact and reimagine things. Do y'all feel like they did the movie justice or was better than the movie? Do y'all have any opinions about that?
I think they did it justice. I'm not gonna say they superseded it because that's just my favorite, the movie. Yeah. But I think they did it justice, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
But they didn't disappoint.
I'm sorry, Detroit.
I said they didn't disappoint. That's never gonna be like the movie. This is kind of like a comedy though. It don't even feel like the movie.
That's true. Even though the movie did have comedy too, but
it was not like this though.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
It did sometimes, some points like Vince Vaughn and all that stuff. So it was kind of funny.
That was true. I forgot. Mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
I meant to rewatch it today.
Here, Robert. You do not even know.
I'm gonna rewatch it probably tomorrow. I love the movie. And just a quick thing about balance, just asking, I do feel like they did great with the storyline, the pacing, the balance between dialogue, action, and the storyline. So I do think they did a good job there. Do you guys have any critiques, anything you didn't see that you prefer to see, or any missed marks or opportunities? Like Booby, did you feel like they missed anything, or were you pretty much, content overall?
I mean, I don't really feel like they missed any marks. I didn't see anything that they missed as far as a relationship wise. They covered every base you can on a relationship and just throwing them together. So as far as missed marks, maybe they could have got more into depth on what was that, episode 7, when he was with the girl and that was a rival agency, because of course in the movie they did talk about the rival agency, but of course they were from different rival agencies in the movie. But I think they definitely could have capitalized on that a little bit more, of what agency she was from and how much information she had on him and all that other stuff. Besides that, nah, they covered all the bases.
I agree. I mean, that could be an option for a season 2 if they keep the same ones. You never know.
Come out with a season 2 though. I think they're gonna come out with a season 2. I think
they have to.
It went off as a cliffhanger. So I mean,
don't play with us, please.
They gotta give it something.
Tamika, did you have anything that you wanted to critique on that you felt you did not get out of this show that you would prefer?
No, I was pretty content. Besides us just being left in the dark like that, I definitely feel like we need a season 2. We need justice for Max. Y'all gotta go and get them.
Yes. Justice for Max and the asthmatic community and Detroit, because they gave us all straight.
They definitely did, man. It's all good.
Aries, you have any critiques?
No, I thought that this was amazing. Definitely an A+. I didn't even realize that Jane, I didn't even think twice about her not being Black, and I knew that was going to be something that would come up. And it's just Donald Glover is one of them guys that if he date out his race, I don't see him just betraying his community. Basically, he still is very pro-Black and aware. Yeah, he did this perfectly. Chef's kiss.
Yeah, I completely agree. Detroit, what about you? Any critique?
No, it's good. I'm A+, man. I'm not gonna complain about a great writing and great acting. You know what he do. That's what he do.
Yeah.
For sure.
So are we on the same page? Are we grading this an A, or did anybody have any other grade to?
I'll give it an A+. Definitely. I like it.
All right, and quick question, Booby, what was your favorite mission?
My favorite mission? Wow.
If you have one.
It's a toss up between episode 3 with the couple and then of course the the one with the poker game, because that poker game was epic.
Oh yeah.
It was epic. It really was.
Right.
On the law,
That
I wish we could
dialogue.
have spent more time in that poker game for real. They gave us
I
just
wanted
enough
more.
time. I wanted more of that poker game though, for sure.
I agree. She's like, oh, I'm done with this conversation. Pew, pew, pew.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm over.
What?
And then my man looked at him. He had no choice but to kill old boy.
Yep. He went, oh,
Yeah. Yo, what? What's going on? Hold up.
I
to
just
me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. My bad.
Oh no. Okay, Tamika, what was your favorite mission?
It's hard to choose one. I like the couple. I like the one with Toby. I definitely like that poker game. That was giving me Atlanta vibes. There was, a couple different things in here that was giving me Atlanta vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Aries, do you have a favorite mission?
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna say the Toby mission was my favorite, just because I really love the scenery, like wherever they was, the south of France. Like, yeah, that's when it started to feel like a spy show. When John was just like in his turtleneck on the boat, just driving. I'm like, there we go, espionage.
Yes. Give it
Yeah.
007. Yes.
007, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, do you have a favorite mission?
Man, episode 3 and 5 mission. That was incredible, man.
Yeah. They all were good. Great
Yeah.
writing. I mean, I love this type of content. Keep it coming. I no complaints out of me. So I hope we get a season 2 and we can get back and maybe do an episodic review. So we can really dig deep into the dialogue and take our time with it. Anybody else have anything else to say about this series?
Nah, I love the callbacks. I definitely love the callbacks, even with the poker scene. That's why it was one of my favorites, because it was in the movie when John went to the poker game and he was looking for the dude. That was one of his missions. I mean, they definitely did a lot of callbacks in this, so they stayed true to the source material, and I like that. There's not too many remakes that you get where it's good and they stay true to the source material, and it's just not cheesy. This wasn't cheesy. This was fire. I
agree. I definitely agree. Anybody else have any final words? No. All right. Well, I hope, like I said, we get a season 2 now that we know what extremely high risk means. We got other Johns and James, okay?
That episode was crazy too. I definitely got to give that episode. Wow.
But I would love to see, I won't mind seeing these two and them being the OG John and James and schooling some new ones. That may be a cute thing too. So we're gonna be patient. We know y'all need time, and we want to get those numbers in to see if it's worth it. So y'all got to 2025 to let us know what's going on with season 2. Booby, anything going on in your channel that you want to plug real quick?
Right now I got a couple things popping off. You know what I mean? What we got? What's today?
10
4 days left. But yeah, I can show you better than I can tell you. Stay tuned, because it's definitely coming.
All right, Tamika, anything coming up? Well, we know what you got. You got something coming up. What is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be busy in these YouTube streets. I think tomorrow, well, technically today, because we in a new day, is Throwback Sunday. I think it's held up in Harlem. Then we'll be joining Tika and EJ for Club Eden, and y'all know I do the Oval Sisters. All that is the same. Supposed to have a Mafia Monday movie, a Flashback Friday movie, my Saturday self-care trivia. So it's gonna be all week long. Keep your notifications on.
Right.
Check in.
Tell her Perry got y'all busy.
Man, listen.
I see.
You got a TV, you got a movie on Netflix.
That's movie night with the ladies on Thursday.
Hey,
and I'm going to be
I need
talking
to
about
holler at y'all.
MLKX. I'm doing a little celebration for Black History. Just the overall. I'm not doing episode by episode, and just some fun facts.
Okay.
I'm trying to get on there with your Hightown review too. I'm gonna holler at you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was fire.
All right, Aries, you have anything coming up?
Yeah, me and Candy are gonna go live tomorrow and discuss episodes 1 through 5 of The Feud, Capote versus the Swans. That is such a good series. If y'all haven't started watching it, oh my gosh, like the drama is definitely real on that show. I can't wait to talk about it in the live tomorrow. So make sure y'all be on the lookout and join us.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that team up right there. I'm definitely tuning in for that one, sis.
Mhm.
Oh, for sure.
All right, Detroit. Anything coming up?
Monday, you know what I mean? What's that? Yeah, Monday, messy Mondays, and then I'm
Messy
probably gonna
Monday.
break down Walking Dead tomorrow, and then I gotta talk about the Vince Staples show, man.
Yeah, I want to
Incredible.
talk about that too, but it's time.
I said on 5 episodes ain't good enough, man. Vince Staples, you a genius, my G.
For
Yeah,
sure.
All I'm gonna say about that, man.
Yeah, he been low
And,
key for real, bro.
it's
and
good. I
then I
want.
forgot. Damn, BMF too. BMF.
Mhm.
What's that? Friday night? Yeah, Friday night for first reaction.
Friday or Thursday nights. Is it Thursday nights?
With Thursday to going on to
Yeah, I
Friday,
think
I
it's
think.
Thursday
Oh
night.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about BMF. I'll be doing BMF and the Sean Lord.
Ooh,
I
and the
hope it's
shot.
good.
round the clock. Well,
Dang, Tamika she busy for the whole. She booked for the whole
the whole
year.
week.
Hey,
The TV guys work. I ain't mad. At 11 o'clock this morning, I will be, Trap Church. We're discussing BMF season 2, episodes 6 through 10. The refresher it's been it's been some work, you guys. So please come through. Yeah, please come through. It was yeah. Lucille and Charles, they saved it for the show, I feel. But please come through. We gotta get ready for season 3. I have some few things coming up, but we'll talk about that later. But thank you guys so much for joining this live. I love this show. Hopefully we come back next year and kind of link up and talk about it episode by episode. But it's hard when they release it all at once, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't complaining. Because if I did have to wait a week, I would have been annoyed. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
We're kind of programmed in that binge situation. So you guys, thank you in the chat. Like the video on everybody's channel, subscribe to everyone, and we will see y'all on the next time. We keep you busy over here, so don't be mad because y'all got stuff to watch. Okay.
There's enough content out there for y'all.
Yes, definitely. Quality. All right.
Make content great again. Thanks for having us, PG. For real.
Thank you so much.
Real, right.
All
Appreciate it.
Toodles, chat.